I got it. I got it. I got it. What should we get for the party?
Let's get both.
Treat yourself.
You guys really wanted those card rewards, huh?
With so many ways to earn money, being a member at Hawaii USA is truly rewarding. Hawaii USA, life matters.
3:48 local time.
If you don't got anything to do this afternoon, maybe catch in the game number 2 of the doubleheader and then walk on over to Simplify Arena, catch some basketball.
Big game tonight against UC Irvine, one of the top teams in the Big West Conference. The 0-1 from Ronan. That one late short, leaping catch there from Ikes as Harthen flies out, or lines out rather, on the L6, one away here top of the first.
Yeah, that ball kind of had a little bit of some English on it. Harthen kind of hitting it on the end of the bat, and good on Ikes to time that jump well.
I will bring up the shortstop, Micah Niu. And on the left side, Marshall going with the road gray uniforms with the green numeral and lettering and the bows and the green tops, white bottoms, and the white Hawaii cursive across the jersey. And this beautiful new turf. If you have not seen it live, if you had not seen it on Spectrum Sports last night, it is pretty.
It is very, very pretty.
So one away here, top of the first. That one fouled right back at netting there by Niu. Again, Hawaii won game 1, 6-2 behind a 5-run, fourth-run inning as the Itsuki Takemoto goes 5 innings, gets the win. DeGiacomo picks up the loss for Marshall. The 0-1. That catches the outside corner quickly, nothing in 2.
Good looking changeup on the outside corner, kind of darting down and away from the right-handed hitting Niu.
A little bit of a breeze. There's some clouds out there, but it's a 80 to 85 afternoon here in Manoa. The 0-2. That one goes right through the 5-6 hole in the left field as Niu aboard with the single.
Not a bad pitch, kind of in on the hands a little bit. Not enough to where you can get it on the handle, but Niu doing a really good job getting the barrel out in front.
Niu in game number 1 went 1 for 5. As that brings up the 3-hole hitter, Jackson Halter. Went 2 for 5, drove in a run, or scored a run as well, as he will bat from the left side. So 1 on, 1 out here, top of the first. No score here, game number 2. Yes, we will play a full 9 innings here in the second game of the doubleheader. From the stretch comes Ronan. High and away, it will miss. 1-0 the count.
And a key for Ronan is making sure that he's able to kind of get his stride on line, get his body down the hill. And again, as long as he's consistent in the strike zone, he's going to be very, very effective.
From the stretch again comes Ronan, the lefty. 1-0 the count. 1 away here, top of the first. That again misses low and away. 2-0.
Staying primarily away from the left-handed hitting Halter.
And Tiff Wells here along with Harrison Kuroda as both Josh Pacheco and Scott Robbs will be making their way over to Simplify Arena, the Stands Sheriff Centers. They'll be both working the men's basketball game later on tonight. The 2-0. That one gets away from Palmera, and taking the base and going the 90 feet is Niu.
Yeah, kind of an unfortunate kick right there. Palmera doing a good job of keeping the ball in front of him, but kind of caroms off to the right.
So with Niu on over at second, the count 3-0 to Jackson Halter.
And not the guy you want to see on deck with Ethan Murdoch.
Not the way he's been hitting here this week. And that one, that will actually hit Halter, and he is aboard on the hit by pitch.
So Ronan stuff looking very, very sharp early on. Velocity holding very, very well.
Well, they called Niu that when he went down to second, they say that was a passed ball. So he over at second is Niu on the passed ball after singling earlier. Halter aboard on the hit by pitch, and that brings up who has been maybe the best hitter this weekend here in Manoa, and Ethan Murdoch.
I mean, maybe the best hitter in the country through 2 games. Already 3 home runs on the season.
Takes a big change of pace on that pitch. 0-1 the count.
Another really good-looking changeup, kind of diving away from the right-hander Murdoch. And rightfully so. I mean, the 2 home runs that he hit yesterday, both off of fastballs. So trying to throw stuff that spins to him.
Niu at second, Halter at first. The 0-1 catches the outside corner, 0-2.
Expertly located fastball on the inside corner at the knees. And we've always said Corey Ronan, right? It's the stuff is always there, but can he put together a complete package for an entire season?
2 on, 1 out. The 0-2 coming from Ronan. Bounced up the third baseline. That will go foul. We'll redo it.
Again, out in front on another changeup, a real pitch. You can kind of see that faith, the faith Ronan has in that pitch. Kind of a pitch that developed a little later in the career here at Hawaii. The native of Chicago, of Illinois, excuse me.
Hope everything's okay with all our friends out in the Midwest. There's been some crazy weather the last couple of weeks. The 0-2 again, high and away, 1 and 2.
Excuse me, out of Jacksonville, Illinois, prepped at Route Catholic.
Again, top of the first, no score. Game number 2, we will play a full 9 innings. 2 on for Marshall with 1 out. Neo over at second, Halter over at first. Pickoff attempt to second, getting back in safely is Neo.
And good on Sakina to kind of get over the bag on the shortstop side to save that ball from going to the center field.
And the middle infield playing about double play depth.
Yep. Shaded a little pull side against the righty, Murdoch.
The 1-2 to Murdoch. That one hammered, but that goes over the awning and out of play.
It's still very interesting, right? And game number 1 last night, there was 0 win to be had. A little bit of Kona, but today you got back to your usual trade win. So we'll see how that kind of plays into today's nightcap or afternoon cap.
The 1-2 coming just misses. Me 2 and 2.
Real sharp curveball, kind of down and in to Murdoch, trying to crowd him. See if he'll offer at that curveball down in the dirt.
As we near the 4 o'clock hour here, local time, nearing 9 o'clock over on the East Coast. The 2-2, top of the first. That one laced right over the second baseman, Sakino. That will fall in for a base hit. Rounding third, coming home is New. No throw home. Marshall on the board. The RBI single for Ethan Murdoch. Marshall takes the 1-0 lead.
I mean, Ethan Murdoch is absolutely hitting everything right now. I thought that was a real good fastball in on the hands, and he kind of just flares it over second base into right field for the single on the RBI.
So on the play, Halter will move on down to second. Murdoch aboard with the RBI single. And like Marshall did in game number 1, rather than the first game last night, like you said, they got the first few runs. They went up 5-0 last night.
Yeah, through 3.
As the 5th hole hitter, AJ Havrila, comes aboard. That's on the right side.
Ronan still kind of looking to get settled in here. Again, his stuff looks very, very locked in, but sometimes for a lot of pitchers, especially week 1, you're trying to get your bearings.
Runners in motion. That ball fouled away, and if not for the foul pit or the foul tip, you would have had a double steal there for Marshall.
Yeah, trying to ambush fastball on the hit and run, trying to see if you can score 2 with the runners on first and second. Real aggressive style of play here. Marshall trying to salvage a split here in Honolulu.
With game 4 tomorrow afternoon, our coverage will be on our brother station, ESPN Honolulu, 12:35 p.m. Hawaii time. That one laced the third, caught off flat from Nishida. He will double off. That is Halter, the 5-4 double play, and that will be our catch of the day. Even we're in the first inning. So our catch of the day brought to you by Young's Fish Market, home of the Wow Lao Lao, as Nishida, who was the spark plug, and he was the hero last night with the walk-off hit off the right field wall, catches the line drive, and they double up Halter at second base. So after 1, Marshall leads 1-0 on 1 run, 2 hits. There were no Hawaii errors and 1 left on base. Through a half inning, Marshall won. Hawaii coming to bat. When we come back right here, you're listening to Rainbow Warrior Baseball on CBS 1500.
Sports Stand Sporting Goods is Hawaii's best baseball and softball store. At Sports Stand, you'll experience the largest selection of baseball and softball gloves and bats in Hawaii. You know the rules. Quality sporting goods always at a price you can afford. Stop by Sports Stand Sporting Goods in beautiful downtown Pio, 94-547 Ukea Street, Suite 303. Or give them a call at 808-676-STAN. That's 808-676-7826. Remember, at Sports Stand, it's not just sporting goods, it's a way of life.
The Hawaii Wall and Ceiling Industry Association is looking for skilled drywall installers, finishers, and cement plasterers. Whether you're a journeyman or an apprentice, we offer great opportunities for career growth in Hawaii's thriving construction industry. You'll enjoy benefits like health insurance, paid vacation, and a retirement plan. If you're dependable and excited about being part of a great industry, call Lisa at 808-271-4195 or go to hwcia.com. That's hwcia.com and apply.
This is University of Hawaii Baseball on CBS 1500.
Marshall picks up a run, top of the first, as Hawaii will come up their batting order. We light up tonight's battery order, or this afternoon's batting order, brought to you by Dial Electric Supply. They see the light. For Hawaii, Matthew Miura, Ben Ziegler-Namoa, Elijah Ikes will go 1, 2, 3. So Miura, Ziegler-Namoa, and Ikes, followed by Zage Lancaster, Suke Sakaino, Jared Quant, Britton Beeson, Draven Nushida, and Connor Palmera, as they will face on the mound for the Thundering Herd, the right-hander Griffin Miller.
Glad to see Connor Palmera back in the Hawaii lineup. Spent a couple years at Cal State Bakersfield, started his career at the University of Hawaii. And so good to see him back wearing the green.
So again, it's a very busy day of Hawaii athletics. Of course, you've got the Rainbow Wahine softball tournament going on in progress. There's about an hour in between walk-offs, between softball picking up a 3-2 win and then baseball winning 9-8 last night. So softball in progress. Of course, Rainbow Warrior basketball tip-off just after 7 o'clock. You can catch Josh Pacheco and Derek Lowe on the call. Rainbow Warrior countdown at about 6:30 p.m. over on our brother station, ESPN Honolulu. Matthew Miura will dig in. Bottom of the first for Hawaii, trailing 1-0. First pitch offering laced out to right, and that will drop foul. So very loud and very long, strike one.
Yeah, Matt Miura seeing the ball particularly well. Paired 2 hits in game number 1 today. And so again, because Jordan Donahue not in the lineup, got pulled last night, and so you see Matt Miura batting leadoff here.
We'll talk more about that injury after this next pitch. The 0-1 offering from Miller. Fouled away, 0-2. Our injury report for today's game brought to you by Hawaii Pacific Health, creating a healthier Hawaii. So you mentioned Jordan Donahue, that injury that has him out of the game, both games of the doubleheader here today. We'll see about tomorrow, game 4.
Yeah, it seems like they kind of have to go get it checked out come Monday and see what the prognosis is for Jordan.
As the 0-2 to Miura. Into the turf. Again, it is a all-turf field that includes the mound and home plate area. No dirt. So if there's no dirt, do you call it a dirt ball or do you call it a turf ball, as some have said?
I would still probably call it a dirt ball.
Okay.
I mean, creature of habit, right? Baseball players.
Baseball players, they are creatures of habit. The 0-2, the 1-2 rather, goes right through the wickets of the pitcher into center field. And there goes the perfect game for Marshall as Miura aboard with the single.
And again, good to see Matt Miura kind of continuing having that hot bat after game number 1.
Yeah, Miura went 1 for 4 last night. 2 for 4 in game number 1. As the lefty hitter, Ben Ziegler-Namoa, the 2-hole hit, step in on the left side with Miura aboard on the single. On the first, Marshall leads 1-0. Game 2 of our double. Hawaii took game 1 earlier this afternoon. 7-inning affair, 6-2. First pitch offering to Ziegler-Namoa. Bounce right to shortstop Niu. Tosses it to Walker. Brother walks it over to the second base, and he will get the out on the force out.
And so the reason why Marshall was not able to turn that double play, Ben Ziegler-Namoa being that left-handed hitter, second baseman for Marshall, kind of shading into that 3-4 hole, and so could not get on the base quick enough to turn the double play.
So Miura retired on these 6 unassisted out over at second base as the 3-hole hitter Elijah Ike steps in, playing shortstop yet again.
A little bit of a glimpse into the future. Ike is normally manning third base, but again, because of Jordan Donahue out in the lineup, playing over at short.
Ike's first pitch offering grounds to third. There by Leon. The ball goes off the glove of the second baseman Kramer. Everybody's safe.
And a big error right there with one out here in the first. And so again, Marshall coming in last year, not a very good fielding team, kind of at 365. Ideally, you want to be, 965. Ideally, you want to be closer to 975, 980. And so again, having a hard time turning that double play here. Hoy got a big opportunity here in the first.
So E4 on the second baseman Kramer. So with Ziegler over at second, Ike is at first. Zage Lancaster, the DH, comes up in the 4-hole spot. Change of pace. That curveball breaks in for strike one.
And Zage Lancaster through 2 games, 4 hits on the year, 7 at-bats, 3 RBIs. And so again, seeing it very well. Hitting a very hefty 571. But again, very early.
Just 2 days into the 2025 NCAA baseball season. The 0-1 offering coming to Lancaster. That catches the inside corner quickly, 0-2.
Good looking front hip slider from Miller, where it kind of starts at the right-handed hitter and darts and catches the inside corner.
And healthy leads for both Ziegler Namoa and Ike, second and first respectively, not being held by Marshall. The 0-2 coming to Lancaster. Swung on and missed, held on for the strikeout. Lancaster goes down on K's.
And a good-looking off-speed offering from Miller, kind of diving away from the right-hander Lancaster for the strikeout.
Shinsuke Sakaino will step in, batting in the 5 spot. Second baseman hits from the left side. So again, 2 on with 2 out for Hawaii, down by a run here, bottom of the first. First pitch offering from Miller, right down Broadway, 0-1.
And Sakaino, a good get for Hawaii, a transfer from CSUN. He was a career 300 hitter there. And again, for you to hit 300 in the Big West, the type of arms you're facing week in and week out, very hard to do.
The 0-1 fouled away quickly, 0-2. And again, you mentioned those arms. Irvine, who just took down a top 25 team in Nebraska yesterday. Yep. Of course, Irvine, Santa Barbara, who playing a very respectable Campbell squad, non-conference. A lot of good arms in the Big West Conference. The 0-2 coming to Sakaino. White trailing 1-0 here, bottom of the first. The 0-2 bends in right past the glove of the pitcher Miller into center field. Rounding third, coming home is Ziegler Namoa. As Ikes will slip on his way to third, he will dive head first. And he will be safe as Hawaii ties it up 1-1 here in the bottom of the first.
And kind of a weird play over there at first base with Ikes, and kind of tripping over himself a little bit, but kind of diving in safely for the to get it third.
So Ikes eventually gets his way over to third.
Yeah.
Sakaino aboard with the RBI single. As that run for Hawaii brought to you by Art Stand Sporting Goods. It's not just sporting goods, it's a way of life. So that error comes back to haunt Marshall here in the bottom of the first as Hawaii picks up their first run of the game. Runners on the corners. Ike is at third. Sakaino at first. Jared Quant, the lefty, digs in. First pitch misses high and away. 1 ball, no strikes. Tied at 1 here in the home half of the first. And a good crowd on hand on this doubleheader Saturday, and I'm sure many will make their way over to Simplify Arena, the Stan Sheriff Center for men's basketball, taking on UC Irvine later tonight. The 1-0 misses low and away, 2 balls, no strikes.
And these are the kind of guys that Jared Quant likes to hit. Not overwhelming with velocity, but being the righty lefty matchup.
The 2-0 offering from Miller. Down and away, 3-0. So if you're Jared Quant, you've been here for what seems like a decade. Are you taking? Do you have the green light if it's a good pitch?
No,
if it's your pitch?
I think he's taking all the way here. I mean, already through 2 games, he's drawn 3 walks.
The 3-0 from Miller. No movement from the runners. That one misses low and away, and Quant aboard on the 4-pitch walk.
And this is the type of pressure that the Hawaii offense is capable of putting on other teams, right? It's not just hits, it's not just power, it's, they'll draw a walk. They'll sack. Last night there was a situation where they almost were successful with a squeeze with 2 outs. So again, very multifaceted offense.
The right fielder, Britton Beeson, hits from the right side. Bases full of bows here in the bottom of the first. 1-all, our score. The 0-1 into the turf, and that one will be swung on and missed as the catcher Golden slid to his right to keep that one in front of him, preventing the runner from coming home from third. So Ike's over at third, Sakaino at second, Quant at first. As the 7-0 hitter, Britton Beeson for Hawaii, down to the count, no balls, 1 strike. The 0-1 checks his swing. He did not. He goes around, says our home plate umpire, Matt Fromelt. As Beeson down to the count, no balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, Beeson, the junior out of Fullerton College, Villa Park, California.
The 0-2 from Miller with bases full of bows here. Bottom of the first, checks his swing. That one outside the zone. They go down to first. He did not. And we'll do it again. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And I like that idea with Miller going back to that breaking ball. I mean, Beeson does not look very comfortable against that pitch with the 0-1 breaker.
The 1-2 coming from Miller. Just misses low. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Very, very good take there on the off speed. Seeing it all the way down. And so again, Hawaii, prime opportunity here with a full base situation.
Ike, Sakaino, and Quant aboard for Hawaii. The 2-2 hit to short. Caught there by Niu. Goes across the diamond. Pulls the first baseman Haverla off the bag, but able to apply the tag successfully to Beeson. And Hawaii is retired on the 5-3 putout to end the frame. But Hawaii does draw even as they score 1 run on 2 hits. There was 1 Marshall error, but Hawaii leaves them loaded in the home half of the first. Through 1 inning here from Manoa. Marshall 1, Hawaii 1. We head to the top of the second in just a minute. You're listening to Rainbow Warrior Baseball right here on CBS 1500.
Lex Brody's Tire Company would like to say thank you very much for supporting UH. Wear your favorite UH gear into Lex Brody's and get an extra 5% off tires, brakes, and most other services on top of LexBrodys.com Super Saver coupons. You're the best fans. Lex Brody's voted #1 in North America is the best choice for brake repairs and to purchase. Please visit LexBrodys.com for additional details and to set an online appointment.
Thank you very
Lex Brody's Tire Company.
You tackle an endless to-do list every day. It may seem like a thankless job, but you know better. It's the little things that matter most. That's why you'll appreciate the enduring value of the Michelin Defender tire. Designed for doers like you, Michelin's long-lasting tire keeps you on the go longer, so you have one less thing to worry about on your next road trip. Stop in today for miles of uncompromised safety and performance. Visit LexBrodys.com for the best tire value on Oahu. Thank you very much.
You won't get it anywhere else. Lex Brody's Tire Company.
Aloha, this is Stan Maiona from Sports Stand. You're listening to University of Hawaii Baseball on CBS 1500.
From Les Murakami Stadium, Tiff Wills along with Harrison Kuroda here. Mahalo for tuning in on this gorgeous Saturday afternoon. Yes, it's been a little bit humid. There's been some Kona winds, as you said earlier. For those that are listening on the mainland, explain what Kona winds are.
Well, especially here at Les Murakami Stadium, Kona winds is when you're going to have winds that are going to be a little more right to left in the outfield, and so kind of going away. Hawaii a lot of times, or Les Murakami Stadium, very much more prone to home runs to right field, and so again, very, very hard to kind of pull it and hit it out when you have those Kona winds. Not too much.
Which made those home runs to left last night.
Yeah,
more impressive.
Yeah, they've Murdoch hit 3 already, and Kammerer hit 1 as well, going back to back in the 3rd inning. So that was the one home run that got him to 5 after 3.
First pitch offering from Ronan misses down and away to the 6-hole hitter Elijah Vogelsong. They'll go 6, 7, 8. Vogelsong, Kramerer, and Golden for Marshall here in the visiting half of the second. The 1-0 becomes 1-1 right down the middle for the strike called.
And pretty tough here for Vogelsong. I mean, Vogelsong right now, the entire home plate and the batter's boxes are in the shadow, and Ronan in the sun right now. So sometimes tough to pick up spin.
The 1-1 hit high into the air, giving look is EK's. He will peel out as Miura will make a few steps to his right, hauls it in, 1 away on the flyout to the center fielder.
And that was just a case of, here's my fastball, see if you can hit it, and advantage Corey Ronan.
So 1 retired here in the visiting half of the second inning as Tyler Kramerer will step in. Second baseman for the Marshall Thundering Herd, looking for their first win here in 2025. The first pitch is down and away, 1 ball, no strikes.
And Kammerer, 1 hit on the season, the big run last night, and so hitting 200 on the year, the sophomore, playing second base today.
Ronan delivers the 1-0 hit. Not as sharply to shortstop. EK picks it up, goes cross court the diamond to Ziegler Namoa on the retired 6-3 put away. Quickly 2 down for Marshall.
And Elijah is out there at shortstop. He is so smooth there. Didn't panic. I mean, usually you have that speed of the ball not hit extremely hard to him, but did a really nice job timing that with his feet and making a strong throw over to first base.
To a 2 retired, that brings up the catcher, Jackson Golden, the 8th hitter for Marshall in their lineup here in game number 2. Again, we will play a full 9 innings. First pitch swung on and missed. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Rainbow Warrior Baseball on CBS 1500.
Hawaii's information station is CBS 1500, KHKA AM Honolulu, and K272GC Honolulu, part of the IO family of companies.
While we were away, that second pitch fouled into the netting, quickly 0-2. Go over some of the Big West scores throughout this Saturday during our game this afternoon. And Big West about 500, maybe a shade above it, but UC Santa Barbara doing very well. Irv had a very nice win earlier yesterday against a top 25 team in Nebraska. The 0-2 just misses the inside corner, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
The 2 darlings of the Big West, UC Irvine and UC Santa Barbara, both picked to go to the NCAA tournament preseason predictions. UC Santa Barbara picked to win the league.
And how nice for Santa Barbara. They finally have lights at their home facility. The 1-2 diving stop there by EK's cross diamond pulls the first baseman Ziegler Namoa off the bag. Safely aboard is Jackson Golden.
And Elijah Iquez did everything humanly possible to try and make up that play close, which he did, making an athletic play to his right and spinning and throw being late for the infield single.
So that'll be a single there for Jackson Golden. But like you said, what a gorgeous stop there from Iquez, the former Kamehameha Kapalama standout. As Eddie Leon.
There's just no panic in his game, which is very, very impressive being a sophomore.
First pitch offering misses high and away. 1 ball, no strikes.
I think last year you kind of saw him in a situation where I think his legs kind of got a little tired out at the end. Started off red hot, but was an everyday player over at third base for Hawaii yesterday as a true freshman.
As Leon will step in. 1 ball, no, 2 out here, top of the second. Fouled into the netting. 1 ball, 1 strike.
A lot of buzz, a lot of excitement for this 2025 team. I think the expectations for themselves are very, very high after coming off of the campaign they had in 2024, winning 37 games, highest win total since 2006.
37-16 a year ago here at home, 26-10. The 1-1 hits the netting, 1 ball, 2 strikes. A team that finished RPI 74, brought in the nation's longest active win streak overall and at home. That has continued on here into 2025, where the Vols have won a lucky 13 in a row.
And talking to Rich, I mean, coming into this weekend especially, he wanted to, a lot of times coaches are going to have a little bit of coach speak, and they're going to say, oh, we're just going to play it and get guys in. But he really wants to extend this home win streak.
The 1-2 coming from Ronan. Catches the bottom of the zone. Backwards K, and Marshall down and out here in the top half of the second inning. For the Thundering Herd, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 on base. We go to the bottom of the second. Marshall, Hawaii, tied at 1. You're listening to Rainbow Warrior Baseball on CBS 1500.
Abbey Carpet and Floor, voted Hawaii's best carpet and flooring company. Stop by Abbey's showroom on Nimitz Highway and see the amazing 7MTC flooring. This revolutionary product is made out of melamine. It's resistant to fading, stains, and even pet scratches. Come by and see the Scratch Test Challenge. 7MTC, available now at Abbey Carpet and Floor.
Abbey Carpet and Floor, where Hawaii goes for glory.
Contractor's license number C19140.
Building a winning program requires vision, careful planning, and expert execution. Since 1994, Ushijima Architects has provided the highest quality professional planning and design services for various projects throughout our state. Our highly experienced team provides the full spectrum of services, from feasibility studies and master plans to complete architectural design work. Call us today at 808-946-9544. Ushijima Architects is a proud sponsor of University of Hawaii Baseball.
This is University of Hawaii Baseball on CBS 1500.
Rainbow Warrior Baseball presented by the Hawaii Wall and Ceiling Industry Association. They are hiring journeymen and apprentices. Grow your career and go to hwcia.com. That is hwcia.com today to apply. Along with Harrison Kuroda, former Rainbow Warrior pitcher and don't call them Mid-Pacific alum. Tifos here high atop Les Murakami Stadium. Good crowd on hand on this Saturday afternoon. About an 80-degree, a little humid Saturday afternoon, but a nice opening weekend of college baseball. How great is it to have college baseball back?
It's awesome. I think my own internal clock kind of revolves around opening day for college. Spring training just kind of kicking off for the pros. And so to me, the official start of baseball season, even though pitchers and catchers reported earlier this week, my opening day is whenever I have that first opening day game for the University of Hawaii.
So for Hawaii here in the home half of the second, they'll go 8-9-1. So Nushida, Palmera, and then back to the top of the batting order, Matthew Miura. So the hero from last night, Draven Nushida, stands on the left side, bottom of the second, 1-1 here in Manoa. First pitch again, swinging, grounded to second. Kramer over to first, Haverla, and they retired Nushida on the 4-3 putout. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Well, and last night saw 1 pitch as well. But yes, last night that 1 pitch was sent into right field off the wall for the game winner.
That was almost a professional swing because that was some high cheddar delivered, and Nushida able to catch up to it, and a high swing, and that ball nearly got out of town. Was the catcher Connor Palmera out of Kahului, Maui. Batting in the 9th slot. Takes first pitch right across the zone, strike 1.
Pretty awesome to have 2 players from the island of Maui in the Hawaii starting lineup today.
Of course, Palmera and Ben Ziegler Namoa, the native of Lahaina. The 0-1 offering from Miller. Catches the outside corner, no balls, 2 strikes. And again, it's been about a year and a half, but still our continual thoughts and prayers to everybody that's been affected by those Maui wildfires over in Lahaina. Can't forget about our friends up in Upcountry and Kula. And of course, for those in Los Angeles and the greater LA area, horrific scenes from last month. That ball smoked to third. Leon, a couple of steps to his right. Palmera retired on the line out to the third baseman.
And Connor Palmera absolutely crushing that inside fastball. But had him played perfectly for out number 2.
Top of the order is Matthew Miura. 1 for 1 on the afternoon here in game number 2. As he singled to get things going here for Hawaii. Line score for Marshall, 1 run, 3 hits, 1 error. For Hawaii, 1 run, 2 hits, no errors. Bottom of the second, nobody on for Hawaii, 2 outs. First pitch offering from Miller coming to Miura. First pitch swinging again, right past the dive of the shortstop Niu into left center field. Miura aboard, thinking about 2, digs for second, and he is thrown. No, they're going to say he slid underneath the tag.
And keep in mind, no TV, so no replay. So that is an unreviewable play. But yeah, that was a big-time heads-up play for Matt Miura to extend the inning here.
Was that a swim move that Miura had?
That's kind of one of, especially with that oven mitt that a lot of guys will employ. So they'll kind of swim it around and try and sneak the hand, and drag it on the turf.
That extra base hit brought to you by Hawaii USA Federal Credit Union, proud supporters of UH Athletics.
Matt Miura is so good at hitting. He is so good.
I don't know what was more impressive, the hit or the navigation to avoid the tag as he slid headfirst into second. So officially a double. First pitch to Ziegler Namoa misses down and away. 1 ball, no strikes.
And we saw a situation like that last night where Matt Miura diving in and kind of putting on a clinic over there with that swim move, like you said, Tiff. And initially called out, but upon further review, he was adamant that he was in, and sure enough, he was.
The 1-0 to Ziegler Namoa, swung on and missed. 1 ball, 1 strike. And again, do you think with no television today or tomorrow, do we have more guys trying to extend base hits possibly and taking that extra 90 feet?
I don't think a lot of that is these guys are kind of thinking about that, but I think, these guys are going to be definitely aggressive on the bases.
1-1 misses high and away, 2 balls, 1 strike. So maybe not the player thinking about it, more so as the coaching staffs, maybe some in-game adjustments that both teams have.
Possibly. But I think at this point in the season, you're going to be aggressive just to see who can extend and get an extra 90, or who's going to have that heads-up base running skill.
The 2-1 swung on and missed again there by Ziegler Namoa. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Deuce is wild here. Bottom of the second, 1 all here from Manoa.
Ben's timing it all right. It's just that he's kind of under it or over it. But again, seeing it well. Again, still, batter's box in the shadow and pitcher in the sun, so that could be a little bit tough.
The 2-2 offering from Miller. Ziegler Namoa fouls it away. He'll get to do it again. And again, an unusual 4 o'clock, 3:45 local time start time. Normally those night games for Hawaii about 6:35. The day games typically 1:05. So different shadows, if you will, for both Marshall and for Hawaii, the home team.
Yeah, but again, that's why, you call it home field advantage. So Hawaii obviously a little bit more prepared to kind of deal with this situation and the field and the sun.
That 2-2 offering fouled into the netting. And like you said, Ziegler Namoa has had that timing. He saw that arm slot, saw it was going to be a change of pace, saw the curveball, so he waited a little bit longer and fouled in the netting, and we'll get to do it over again.
Having some conversations in the past with Ben, there are times where he'll be a little bit too selective, and so he's always very, very good at fouling tough pitches off, but we'll tend to dig himself into a hole if he's trying to look for something too perfect.
Miura down at second. Ziegler Namoa draws ball 3. Count is full. And again, with no runner at first, Miura can't get a walking lead head start.
Big pitch here for Miller, trying to work his way out of some trouble here in the second, excuse me.
The 3-2 from Miller. Ziegler Namoa draws the walk. The inning extends for Hawaii.
And already Ben drawing his 3rd walk on the season. Getting a very healthy 333, but that on-base percentage creeping up coming into today was 500.
So with Miura over at second, Ziegler Namoa having drawn the walk, he's on at first. Elijah Ikez will step in. He reached fielder's choice in the first inning. And then 2 on with 2 out. Tied at 1 here, bottom of the second. First pitch swinging right through the wicket to the pitcher, Miller. Hauled in there by Kramer. The ball gets off of his glove, coming around from second, rounding third, and sliding head first. Matthew Miura. Bows take the lead 2-1.
And again, such a heads-up play right there by Matt Miura. Not waste any time, did not slow down rounding third. And Coach Hill was waving him all the way. Knew it was going to be a tough play up the middle. I mean, Elijah Ike is doing a really good job hitting it back up the middle and getting himself a single.
They will call it a single, so an RBI officially for Matthew Miura. And like you said, just ahead of base running, that 2-out base running for Hawaii. Very aggressive, this Rich Hill coaching style. So Miura's scores did not stop as he rounded third. Ziegler Namoa stays at second. Credit him for running it out through second base. Ziegler Namoa over at second. Ike is at first as the inning continues with Zage Lancaster. So 2 on with 2 out. Bows take the lead 2-1 on that RBI single through the middle or off the second baseman's glove. Ben Ziegler Namoa gets the RBI. That was Elijah Iquez on the RBI. The 1-0 offering coming from Miller. Marshall trailing by a run. Half-hearted swing there by Lancaster. Fouls it off. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, like Lancaster kind of in between the swing there. And so, like I said last night on air, it's awesome to see Zage Lancaster here in the thick of things because last year lost the year due to injury. And so good to see him feeling good and being an everyday contributor.
The 0-1 to the 4-hole hitter, Zage Lancaster. 2 on for Hawaii, 2 out. Bows up 2-1, swung on and missed. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Really out in front on that breaking ball, but very good to stay balanced with his base. And that's kind of what you want to see, right? An older guy, a transfer, started his career at New Mexico State. And so, again, the reason why he's in this lineup is because he takes very, very good swings.
The 1-2 fouled, and they will call that a strikeout. So the inning for Hawaii will come to a close, but not before Hawaii gets the run, and they take the lead as the Bows go for 1 run on 2 hits, no Marshall errors, and Hawaii leaves 2 more aboard. That is 5 left on base through 2 innings. But Hawaii has the lead for the first time this afternoon here in game number 2. Bows lead Marshall 2-1. We move to the top of the third in a minute. You're listening to Rainbow Warrior Baseball on CBS 1500.
Here's Dr. Sean Giancaterino with a heart health tip from Hawaii Pacific Health.
Heart disease is one of the leading causes of death for men and women, but prevention is key to reducing your risk. Take charge of your heart health by maintaining a healthy diet, exercising regularly, and monitoring risk factors like blood pressure, cholesterol, and your family history of heart disease to live healthier.
To learn more, visit hawaiipacifichealth.org/heart centers.
The Hawaii Wall and Ceiling Industry Association is looking for skilled drywall installers, finishers, and cement plasterers. Whether you're a journeyman or an apprentice, we offer great opportunities for career growth in Hawaii's thriving construction industry. You'll enjoy benefits like health insurance, paid vacation, and a retirement plan. If you're dependable and excited about being part of a great industry, call Lisa at 808-271-4195 or go to HWEIA.com. That's HWEIA.com and apply.
This is University of Hawaii Baseball on CBS 1500.
To the top of the third we go here from Les Murakami Stadium. Tiff Wiltzer along with former Rainbow Warrior pitcher Harrison Kuroda. Bows lead Marshall here in game 2 of this doubleheader, 2-1. If you weren't listening earlier this afternoon, Josh Pacheco and Scott Robbs on the call. Bows took game 1 6-2 behind a 5-run 4th inning. Itsuki Takimoto, he looked good as the Bows pick up win number 1 for Takimoto on the season. Hawaii now 2-0 here in 2025 as they look to get the series win. And if they can, Bows could go for a series sweep on a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, it would be nice on an opening weekend to kind of get that sort of momentum. I thought last year one of the main talking points last year was that Hawaii played much, much better down the stretch. And so for them to kind of build some steam earlier in the season would be a very, very welcome kind of facet to the 2025 campaign.
So as we move to the top of the third, Marshall will go 1, 2, 3. So Harthen, Niu, and Halter Again, 1-2-3 for the Thundering Herd here, top of the third. Still on the hill for Hawaii, Corey Ronan. As Harthen facing a 1-0 count. Lined out to short to begin the ball game. The 1-0 right over the heart of the plate. 1-1. Our third inning brought to you by Ushijima Architects Incorporated.
Yeah, so far Corey Ronan much better, much more comfortable second inning than the first. So kind of settling in here.
The 0-1, the 1-1 that is fouled back to the netting, gets out of play.
And a very uncomfortable swing there by Harthen. And so, yeah, I mean, this is kind of the scouting report on Corey Ronan, right? If he's able to be consistent inside of the zone and over home plate, he's very, very tough to handle.
The 1-2 offering from Ronan as Harthen digs in. Half swing, fouls it to the right. He'll get the do-over, 1-2.
And a big thing that Hawaii has, that Coach Hill has talked about, is that he's got 15 pitchers on this staff that are able to throw 90 plus. We saw two of them, all three guys last night were all capable of it. Earlier in game number 1, we saw Liam O'Brien throwing 90, mid upper 90s.
The 1-2 misses high and away, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And he looked dominant in game number 1. Kind of sitting there. I mean, that fastball is lightning quick. But again, Corey Ronan, a really nice job trying to making his bid to stay in the weekend rotation for Hawaii.
The 2-2 hit foul to the left of third base. Again, 2 balls, 2 strikes. And again, for Marshall, if you don't know a whole lot about them, from Huntington, West Virginia, team that last year, they went 18-37 overall, 9-21 in a very, very competitive Sun Belt conference. You think of teams like Southern Miss, who's always in a conversation to host a regional. Of course, the Troy Trojans, Louisiana, Coastal Carolina. They won the whole thing about a decade ago. Of course, Georgia Southern, who hosted a regional as well. Again, that 2-2 hit wide of third.
Harthen kind of an excuse me swing to kind of fight that fastball off of the plate.
But again, just the third year for head coach Greg Beals.
Trying to create a new culture. They have a new stadium that they christened last season. So, a program on guys.
And like Hawaii, a lot of green and white in the color scheme.
Yep.
The 2-2 again coming from Ronan. Head out to left. Miura started in, then waits for it and puts up the glove, hauls it in. 1 retired on the fly out to center.
Yeah, again, another fastball that kind of just beat Harthen, getting underneath the barrel for the lazy fly ball to Miura out in center field. And that's, you were talking about how he kind of just puts the glove up and kind of stays there. Matt Miura does. He looks so cool doing everything on a baseball field.
And he's got those very shiny glasses, too. So the 2-hole hitter, Micah Nee, will step in. First pitch is called a ball. And the first ever series meeting between Hawaii and Marshall. Did play 3 meetings on record from 1913, 1915, prior to Hawaii having an official NCAA baseball program. Thank you to Darren Iha, our SID here at UH, for that little nugget. 2 balls, no strikes. And there are 2 pretty famous football players that come out of Marshall. Let's see if you can get this one.
I am not a football guy.
You're not a football guy. Okay.
Definitely not.
All right. The 2-0 hit out to center. They'll drop in for the base hit as Niu aboard for the second time here this afternoon. Both on singles. One you could get. Wide receiver. Played for the Vikings. Randy Moss.
Oh.
Ran West Virginia.
Okay.
The other one you might not get.
I most likely won't.
Well, if you're a New York Jets fan, as I know a few of the Hawaii sports media people are, they are fans. Chad Pennington. Quarterback for Marshall.
Yeah.
With 1 aboard, 1 out for the Thundering Herd here in the top of the third. Breaking for second is Niu. He will dive head first ahead of the throw, and he gets in with a stolen base.
And right as you mentioned, that's buddy of ours, Sam Spangler, texts me, Randy Moss. Glad you're listening out there, Sammy.
He was out here last night.
Yep. Had opening day ceremonies for Little League Baseball this morning.
That last pitch was a ball. This one also will miss wide. Miss to the left, the low and in. Or down and away, 2 balls, no strikes. I'm sure a lot of parents out on the diamond soccer field. It's in a holiday weekend. As head coach Rich Hill will take that slow trot to the mound.
Yeah, just kind of getting the infield together, making sure everybody understands where their coverage is. Got 1 out, 2-0 count. Maybe they're thinking about putting on a bunt here.
And I know we're in game 2. We're in the top of the 3rd here, but still, if you're Coach Rich Hill, if you had any keys coming into a game 2 with doubleheader, our keys brought to you by Napa Auto Parts, get up and go with that 40-minute turnaround from the end of game 1 to the start of game number 2. What do you tell your team?
Well, to kind of steal a Rich Hill-ism, if you will, ride the wave. Big into surfing. I think the momentum from the big time win last night, and then the pretty clean win in game number 1 today. I think you just kind of want to ride that momentum into game 3, and then hopefully, like you said, Tiff, go for that sweep tomorrow.
Again, our coverage, we've been bouncing around on both stations this weekend with, of course, Rainbow Warrior basketball tonight. You can catch it over on ESPN Honolulu, 6:30 p.m. Rainbow Warrior Countdown. Josh Pacheco, Derek Lowe on the call. Rainbow Warrior baseball wrap up tomorrow, 12:35 pregame. Very busy, Josh Pacheco.
Yeah.
He's everywhere. So the 2-0, this is down and away, as it is now a 3-0 count to the 3-hole hitter, Jackson Halter.
This is the matchup ideally you would want to have and want to win here. Work yourself all the way back, because Murdoch, the big hitter, being a right-handed hitter.
And for the second time, Halter aboard, and that also means Murdoch will step up to the plate with 2 on.
And looks like there's going to be a little bit of movement in Hawaii's bullpen.
Again, our first game, 7 innings. This game, scheduled for 9.
And that is Cooper Walls, freshman. I know Coach Keith Zuniga and Coach Hill are really, really high on the right-hander. He was very quick to tell us that if they needed to go to the bullpen early,
runners advance, and there will be another double steal as that ball high of the zone. Murdoch draws ball 1. Niu to 3rd, Halter to 2nd. And he fouled it off the first time he did so in the first inning, but they tried to do a double steal on that first pitch offering. Unsuccessful because of the foul ball.
But again, Ronan not a real great job of shortening and quickening up his leg. He's kind of employing a big leg lift, so very easy to time.
That one laced out to left center. That will fall and go all the way to the wall. Coming home from third is Niu. Halter rounds 3rd. He will head home. Score Marshall back on top, 3-2 on the 1-out, 2-run double by Ethan Murdoch.
Yeah, and again, just another fastball down and in. Murdoch doing a really good job pulling the hands in and driving the gap for the double. I mean, at this point, right? I mean, I know we're only in game 3 of the season, but I mean,
it's the one guy. That's the one guy.
Why are we throwing to him?
So he has now all 3 RBIs in that. Speaking of Ethan Murdoch, and he's showing you why he's the DH for this Marshall Thundering Herd. So Marshall back in front, 3-2. First pitch swung on and missed. A healthy swing there from A.J. Haverla. 0 for 1 on the afternoon here in game number 2. Lined out to the third baseman in the first inning. So a pair of runs for Marshall here in the top of the 3rd. They lead 3-2. The 0-1 misses down and away. There's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Still, Ronan still looks very comfortable. I think he still has to be a little bit more cognizant of holding runners and making sure that he's a little quicker to home plate.
The 1-1 offering swung on and missed. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Real good looking off speed offering. I think that was the changeup kind of diving away. Doing a good job keeping it down, especially with those changeups. You want to Make sure that they're down in the zone so you're safe. Hanging changeups tend to go a long, long way.
Over at second is Murdoch after his 2-run RBI double puts Marshall back in front 3-2. The 1-2 offering right down the middle, but it is called ball 2.
A little down. I think you saw Palmera cradle that ball a little bit. And I like Palmera back there.
Different not to have Dallas J. Duarte.
Very different. Very strange.
The 2-2 fouled away.
Very strange not to see a number 8 back there.
And the line score for Marshall, 3 runs, 5 hits, 1 error. So far, they've left 2 on base for the Rainbow Warriors. 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors, but 5 left on base through 2 innings.
Yeah, Hawaii's got their chances.
Pickoff move to second. They got him. They do so. What a great move there by Ronan. And they nab Murdoch, who was creeping off that second base bag.
Yeah, kind of doing the dance, and that was big on Shinsuke Sakaino to kind of creep around the bag, not necessarily directly to the bag, so kind of out of the view of Murdoch over there at second.
So on the pickoff attempt, that is successful. That wipes the runner over at second off the bag. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here at the top half of the third. Ground ball to short. Ikes over to Ziegler and Amoa. Inning retired as the Bows retired Haverla on the 6-3 putout, but Marshall back in front after a 2-run third inning. So 2 runs on 2 hits, no Hawaii errors, and nobody left on base. To the home half of the third we go. New score, Marshall 3, Hawaii 2. This is Rainbow Warrior Baseball on CBS 1500.
Bring over your funds to Hawaiian Financial Federal Credit Union from another financial institution and secure it with a great rate for 5 months. Earn an amazing 4.25% annual percentage rate. Get in while the rates are still in the 4s. Don't miss this opportunity. Rates are rapidly changing. Get your 4.25 annual percentage rate for a 5-month certificate today. Check out Hawaiian Financial Federal Credit Union at hificu.com today.
Membership open to all Hawaiian Maui residents. Federally insured by NCUA. Rate subject to change without notice. $2,000 minimum to open. Money used to fund certificate must come from an external source. Penalty for early withdrawal. Fees could reduce earnings. Other rates available.
When you got the hungries, go to Young's Fish Market in Honolulu. Young's Fish Market is your headquarters for an extensive menu full of local favorites. Get the Lau Lau plate, Kalua pig, or the beef stew. How about tripe stew, pipi kaula, lomi salmon, and squid luau. Get 10% off for Military Monday, Senior Tuesdays 60 and over, or every day for EMS, law enforcement, and firefighters. Just show your ID. Visit youngsfishmarket.com, home of the famous Wow Lao Lao.
Aloha, this is Stan Maiona from Sports Stand. You're listening to University of Hawaii Baseball on CBS 1500.
Pair of runs for Marshall. In that top of the third inning, we move to the bottom half of the third. Hawaii trailing by a run. Marshall leads 3-2. Tiflis here along with former Rainbow Warrior pitcher Harrison Kuroda. And still on the hill for the Thundering Herd, Griffin Miller, their sophomore right-handed hurler.
Yeah, his Miller's 2024 campaign, 43 and a third innings pitched, 37 strikeouts to 25 walks. And so it was one of their main weapons out of the bullpen, made 20 appearances out of the bullpen and 3 starts. And so big things on the horizon for Griffin Miller, the native of Madison, Virginia.
As for the Rainbow Warriors in the home half of the third, they'll go 5, 6, 7. So Sakaino, Quantz, and Beeson. Sakaino 1 for 1 here in game 2 as he singled in the home half of the first. Bats from the left side. Going into inning number 3 of work is the hurler Miller. First pitch swinging from Sakaino. Right through it. No balls, 1 strike.
Sakaino kind of just ambushing fastball right there. But well-located fastball in the inside corner for Griffin.
Native of San Diego, California. Starting second baseman for Coach Rich Hill here in game number 2. The 0-1 right back up the middle. Niu hauls it in. Cross diamond to Haverla as Sakaino retired on the 6-3 putout, 1 away.
And played perfectly right there, kind of just playing behind second base. And Sakaino doing a really good job. The type of hitter he is, he's going to try and use the entire field. And so when you have a pretty center cut pitch to hit, you're going to send it right back up the middle. But played perfectly was Marshall's defense.
Jared Quant will step in. Getting the start in left field here in game number 2. Drew a walk in the first inning. Native of Los Gatos, California. First pitch catches the outer half. No balls, 1 strike.
Silicon Valley guy. That San Jose, Santa Clara area. Been a mainstay here for Hawaii the last several years.
The 0-1 to Quant. Lightly tapped to third. Leon, couple of steps in, grabs it. Cross diamond again to Havrila as Quant retired 5-3 and quickly 4 pitches. 2 outs for Hawaii here in the home half of the third.
Yeah, Griffin Miller looking like he's settling in pretty nicely here as we kind of get into the middle inning.
Right fielder Britton Beeson steps in 0-for-1 on the afternoon here in game number 2. Grounded out to third in the first inning where Hawaii sent 7 to the plate.
And Marshall here with 2 outs, playing pretty straight up.
First pitch offering, catches the inner half. No balls, 1 strike.
Good looking breaking ball to get me over for strike number 1.
And Hawaii left 3 runners aboard in the first, 2 in the second. Bo's in danger of going 3 up, 3 down here in the home half of the third. 1 ball, 1 strike. That ball misses well wide.
Miller kind of disgusted with himself after he releasing that pitches, kind of all sort of body language, kind of telling himself to stay over the plate.
Miller on the mound. The righty curler. Here comes his 1-1 offering. Beeson will foul it off. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And again, for Marshall, they'll head home either late Sunday or early Monday, and then they are back on the road in week number 2, and they face a very, very good Georgia Tech squad.
Yeah.
That series will wrap around Friday through Monday next week. The 1-2 offering here to Beeson out of Villa Park. Out to right center. That will fall, and cutting it off is Harthen on the slide. Rounding first, heading to 2, as Beeson will dive head first for the sliding double.
And again, Hawaii for the 3rd straight inning, getting a guy on with 2 outs and doing a really good job. Beeson did, motoring all the way to second base.
Another extra base hit for the Bows, brought to you by Hawaii USA Federal Credit Union, proud supporters of UH Athletics.
We talked about Draven Nushida, last night's hero. And that was cool. You know, on Hawaii Athletics social media, they kind of superimposed softball walk-off and the baseball walk-off. I mean, whoever's doing the social media, kudos to you.
First pitch offering to Nushida. Catches the inner half. No balls, 1 strike. Of course, Trevor Camillo leads that social media department. JJ, you see a number of people for Hawaii Athletics doing stand-up work. The 0-1 coming to Nushida as Beeson takes his lead off of second base. Curveball didn't quite curve into the zone. 1 ball, 1 strike.
That is an outstanding take there by Draven Nushida, kind of seeing it all the way off the plate. A Mid-Pacific product.
Had to get that in.
I had to
get that in.
Had to.
The 1-1 offering to Nushida. Grounded to first. Pulls the first baseman Haverl off the back. Ball goes off his glove into right field. Coming from second. Diving head first. And he will score. That is Mr. Britton Beeson. As the inning will continue. We'll wait for the official ruling.
They're going to call it an E3.
So no RBI.
No RBI, but again, here we have another tie ball game in the early goings.
Another run scored by the Bros, brought to you by Sports Stand Sporting Goods. Not just sporting goods, it's a way of life.
And
our
again,
good friend Stan Mahilona.
Big heads up base running by Beeson, rounding third, not slowing down and getting all the way to home plate.
So the catcher Connor Palmero will step in. Inning continues for the Bows. First pitch swinging, that will land just wide of the bag. Be strike 1.
Palmera hit the ball very hard in his first at bat, lining out to third base. So seeing it well, but again, played perfectly over there at third.
And if you're head coach Greg Beals, you're on the road, lost a tough game last night on a walk-off. You lose by 4 here in game 1 of a doubleheader. Seeing extra outs being given to your opponent.
And that was one thing that they wanted to work on.
And a nice steal there, going from first to second, catching the defense snapping. That was Draven Nishida.
I mean, that was a jump and a half. I mean,
it surprised himself.
Yeah, the righty Griffin Miller had no idea that Draven was just straight breaking in the middle of his set.
So Nishida on the stolen base, down at second, scoring position. The 0-1 coming to Palmera. Ground right up the middle to the shortstop. Niu goes cross diamond, ball low, but scooped out of the turf there from the first baseman Haverla. And the inning is retired, but Hawaii draws even as they score yet another run that is now single runs in the first, second, and third inning for the Rainbow Warriors. So for the Bows in the home half of the third, that is 1 run on 1 hit. There was 1 Marshall error and 1 left on base for Hawaii. Through 3 complete from Manoa. We're tied at 3 with Marshall and Hawaii as we move to the visiting half of the 4th inning right after this. You're listening to Rainbow Warrior Baseball on CBS 1500.
Sports Stand Sporting Goods is Hawaii's best baseball and softball store. At Sports Stand, you'll experience the largest selection of baseball and softball gloves and bats in Hawaii. You know the rules. Quality sporting goods always at a price you can afford. Stop by Sports Stand Sporting Goods in beautiful downtown Waipio, 94-547 Uke'e Street, Suite 303. Or give them a call at 808-676-STAND. That's 808-676-7826. Remember, at Sports Stand, it's not just sporting goods, it's a way of life.
How do you get 100% of your work done when you're 40% short-staffed? Across Hawaii, city and state departments grapple with thousands of vacant positions. And with fewer workers, that means longer lines at the DMV, delayed building permits, and slowdowns in essential services. The government could resolve this by offering more competitive wages and benefits. For you, we hope they do. A message to you by AGEA, because Hawaii works best when we do.
This is University of Hawaii Baseball on CBS 1500.
Tiff Wells, Harrison Kuroda coming to you live high atop Les Murakami Stadium. Good crowd on hand on this doubleheader Saturday, opening week of NCAA baseball. And I'm sure there's some diehard Hawaii Athletics fans that have been here for Game 1. They'll stay for Game 2. They'll, depending on when this game is when it ends, they'll make the trek over to Simplify Arena, the Stand Center, and just make it an afternoon, evening of Hawaii Athletics. Of course, Rainbow Warrior Basketball taking on a very good UC Irvine squad. Our coverage will be on another station, ESPN Honolulu, 6:30 p.m. with Rainbow Warrior Countdown. Derek Lowe and the ever-busy Josh Pacheco on the call. Can Hawaii go 2-0 this weekend here at home and defend home court, taking on UC Irvine? As we move to the top of the 4th, Marshall will go 1, 2, 3. It'll be Harthen, Niu, and Halter. Rather, correction, it'll be 6, 7, 8. Rather, Vogelsong, Kramer, and Golden. First pitch swung on, and it'll go foul.
And we haven't gotten the signal that the parking lot is starting to fill up. So if your plan is to go and watch Warrior basketball, make sure you get here early.
The 0-1 becomes 0-2. That ball bends in.
Good-looking curveball there by Ronan.
And for Marshall, 3 runs, 5 hits, 2 errors. For Hawaii, 3 runs, 5 hits, 0 errors. Top of the 4th, the 0-2 count. Ronan delivers. We fouled away, and the left field Vogelsong will do it again.
Yeah, Hawaii doing a pretty good job playing clean baseball. Made 2 errors last night, which is uncharacteristic, but the bats came alive late in the 9th inning for that 3-1 walk-off thriller. I mean, I told Coach Hill after the game, man, that after that game, like, I wanted to run through a wall.
Change of pace, the off speed, the strikeout. Therefore, Ronan, 1 retired here in the top half of the 4th.
Again, big out number 1 there by Ronan. Ideally, you would want to win those matchups, with Elijah Vogelsong being a being a lefty, and looks like they're going to go to the bullpen here.
So our call to the bullpen brought to you by HCAMP, the Hawaii Concussion Awareness Management Program. Visit hawaiiconcussion.com, as that will close the book for Hawaii on Corey Ronan as he goes 3 1/3. 3 runs, 5 hits. But his day is done. And again, it's the opening week of the season. You're not going to see a lot of the starters go past 5, maybe 6 innings.
Yeah, and so 59 pitches through 3+ innings. And, you know, like we talked about earlier, Corey Ronan logged all of 5 innings last year. And so made a very, very good case for him to stay in the weekend lineup. The first Hawaii starter to not give up a home run. So, again, I thought given his struggles earlier in his career, I thought that was a job well done by Corey Ronan.
So, again, we'll keep it here as the new pitcher for Hawaii
is number 18, Cooper Walls, the righty. And again, Coach Hill being very, very big on the right-hander out of Carlsbad, California. Went to La Costa Canyon High School. And so kind of the big get out of the 2025 recruiting class, the 6'5", 215-pound right-hander. I mean, he's a big, big boy. And so there were 2 guys that were circled on this pitching staff that I really wanted to see throw live. And first guy was Liam O'Brien. The second guy here is Cooper Walls.
So while we have a moment, we'll keep it here because it is normally we'll have a special 60-second timeout because of the pitching change, but we'll do something a little different. We'll keep it here. So we'll actually go over our Big West Conference scoreboard. We go around the Big West Conference. Our scoreboard brought to you by the Hawaii Building and Construction Trades Council. Building a better tomorrow. Teams that have gone final earlier today was UC Irvine. They're now 2-0. Over in Scottsdale, they defeated New Mexico 18-4. So the Anteaters are now 2-0. CSUN picked up their first win of the season, an 11-9 victory on the road at Santa Clara. Riverside dropped an 11-6 decision at home against Utah Valley. UCLA all over Cal Poly in Game 2, 18-2. Stanford defeated Cal State Fullerton 13-1, and last check they were up 5-0 in Game number 2. We'll go over the rest of our scoreboard throughout this next hitter for Cal State Fullerton. As the first pitch for Walls, that hits the right shoulder of Tyler Kramer, and he is aboard.
Yeah, kind of a fastball that just kind of grazes Kammerer. So again, only a freshman. You like the tools, you like the physical makeup of Cooper Walls, but again, you got to get that first one in, right? Once you get that first one in, then you can kind of relax a little bit. And so it's much, much different when you have fans in the stands and another team in that dugout.
First pitch offering to Jackson Golden, misses high and away. 1 ball, no strikes. UC Davis picked up a home win, 3-1 over Gonzaga. Bakersfield defeated Lamar 8-1. That ball gets away from Palmera, as heading down to second will be Kammerer.
Yeah, ball kind of glancing off of the mid of Palmera, and so runner in scoring position with 1 out. And they're going to score that a pass ball.
So Kammerer aboard in scoring position. Again, 1 on with 1 out. Count is 2 balls and no strikes to Jackson Golden. A 2-0. Goes off the glove of Palmera. They call it a strike. Interesting, because the umpire kind of waved his hands like call off the pitch. But they ruled it a strike.
And contrary to popular belief, you don't have to catch it for it to be a strike as long as it's in the zone. And that's coming from a pitcher, so take that for what it's worth.
A mid-Pacific pitcher at that. The 2-1 hit out to right center. That will fall for a base hit. Rounding third and heading home is Kammerer. The throw from Beeson a little up the line, and it is Leif as Kammerer takes a dive and kind of rolls his way over home plate as the Thundering Herd back in front 4-3 on the RBI single there from Golden.
Yeah, and so for the freshman, a little bit of early adversity here in the 4th inning. And so still a lot of time for him to work, a lot of time for him to kind of settle in here.
And if you're camera, you're not going to hear the end of that from your teammates.
Yeah.
Yes, you avoided the tag, but that did not look like the cleanest of ways to avoid the tag and get your way home. But hey, you touched home plate. You did what you had to do, and you scored.
Now you have the advantage, and so ideally you want to try and create some momentum here. And so Cooper Walls trying to settle in and trying to work his way out of this jam.
The 0-1 out to left. Quant giving chase. That will fall in. One bounce off the wall. Rounding second. Heading to third is Golden. He will slide in. And heading to second on the stand-up double is Eddie Leon. So the Thundering Herd getting Ahoy's bullpen here in the top half of the fourth. Already have scored a run, and now with two more in scoring position.
Yeah, that was kind of just a floating slider or floating breaking ball that didn't really dip down. It kind of held plane. And Leon doing a really good job of hammering that into left field. And Hawaii bullpen right now quiet. You know, I think you want to get some length out of Leon. Oh, and that ball
gets through the wickets of the catcher, Palmera, but not far enough to advance the runner from third, as Golden will stay at third. So the count 1-0 to the leadoff hitter, Kim Harthen.
Right now, it kind of seems that Palmera and Walls are kind of not on the same page. And that's another thing that you want to be able to try and build and try to figure out, right, is pitcher-catcher dynamics. You'll have some opportunities to catch a couple different guys and see who works best with who.
The 1-0. That one hit foul, wide of third.
Because at the catcher position, that is one thing that is not solidified. You know, and Coach Hill will always talk about things that will reveal itself. And so ideally, as you get closer to the conference, one guy starts to lead the pack.
That one right over the head of the runner on third. Jackson Golden ducks away, lands foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Other games that have gone final in the Big West Conference, UC Santa Barbara now 2-0. They defeated Campbell 7-2. Northwestern defeated Long Beach 6-2. UC San Diego and Pacific just underway from North California. Stanford and Fulton playing their second game of doubleheader. Ball hit to the first baseman. This will score a run. Bose will get the out. Pitchers fielding practice there for Walls as Ziegler Namoa goes back to Walls. 3-1 on the putout. But coming through the back door from third, Golden scores the RBI ground out for Harthen.
And that double to get him in scoring position there, that is a huge, huge thing for Marshall. And so still 2 outs with the runner on third.
So on the play, Leon advances over to third. As now Micah Niu will step in. First pitch swinging, that lands in center field on the green. And the first pitch swinging, the RBI single for Niu.
And so that's now the biggest deficit of the day. Now he's chasing 3.
So the third run here in the top of the fourth, all have been issued to Cooper Walls. So 3 in the inning for the Thundering Herd. Like you said, Harry, they've doubled up Hawaii. Now 6-3. Biggest deficit for Hawaii early on in this season. First pitch misses high in the zone. 1 ball, no strikes to Jackson Halter.
But the guys in green today, you know, because of what they've accomplished last night, right? The deficit early isn't something that's going to freak them out, or, you know, they're going to keep their composure.
The inside out swing will land foul of the third base line.
Very dangerous at bat here. Ideally, you would want to try and get this third out, but Jackson Halter on the play, or Jackson Halter here batting third.
And again, with Ethan Murdoch in the on-deck circle, he's come aboard, or he's come up to bat with 2 runners on both times so far this afternoon. So if you're Hawaii, you want to try to get Halter out any way you can.
Oh, yeah.
The 1-1 offering from Walls. Catches the outer half. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
A real good-looking fastball right there by Cooper Walls. And again, we talked about the tools, right? But right now, we're not seeing a whole lot of conviction behind pitches thrown. So again, that'll come as time goes on.
The 1-2, they check the runner at first. Diving headfirst back in safely is Niu. And for Marshall, 6 runs, 8 hits, 2 errors. 3 of those 6 runs have come in this top half of the fourth. For Hawaii, their line score 3 runs, 5 hits. But again, through the first 2 innings, Hawaii had 5 runners left on base. The 1-2 coming to Halter. Swung on and missed as Palmera holds on for the K. And Hawaii finally retires Marshall here in the top half of the fourth inning. But damage done by the visitors out of West Virginia. 3 runs on 3 hits. There were no Hawaii errors and 1 runner left on base. Through 3.5 from Manoa. New ball game. Marshall 6, Hawaii 3. You're listening to Rainbow Warrior Baseball on CBS 1500.
Abbey Carpet and Floor, voted Hawaii's best carpet and flooring company. Stop by Abbey's showroom on Nimitz Highway and see the amazing 7MTC flooring. This revolutionary product is made out of melamine. It's resistant to fading, stains, and even pet scratches. Come by and see the Scratch Test Challenge. 7MTC, available now at Abbey Carpet and Floor.
Abbey Carpet and Floor, where Hawaii goes for flooring.
Contractor's license number C19140.
Aloha from Waiakea. As a proud corporate sponsor of University of Hawaii Athletics, we're committed to keeping our athletes and fans hydrated with delicious volcanic water straight from the Big Island. Rooted in Hawaiian values, we believe in honoring the Aina, land, supporting our community, and living with aloha in everything we do. You can find us at most stores across the islands or learn more at waiakea.com. Live aloha, drink Waiakea.
This is University of Hawaii Baseball on CBS 1500.
Well, we have a moment. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Rainbow Warrior Baseball here on CBS 1500.
Start your mornings with Wake Up Today. Weekday mornings at 5 on CBS 1500. KHKA AM Honolulu.
Tiff Walls here along with Harrison Kuroda as we move to the home half of the fourth inning here in Manoa. Game 2 of our doubleheader. Hawaii took game 1 by a score of 6-2. Itsuki Takimoto picking up the first win of his campaign here in 2025. Hawaii now 2-0 after that 5-run fourth inning, but a little deficit here for Hawaii. Their biggest so far this season, down 5. Rather, they had the biggest deficit was last night, down 5-0, down 6-3 here in the home half of the fourth.
Yeah, big for Hawaii here. They got to punch back. You know, they've shown that they can respond after Marshall scoring, and so now if you can start to chip away, again, still early, and kind of ride that momentum. I mean, already 5 hits through 3 innings. And so Hawaii seeing the ball fairly well. But again, they have to make sure that they scratch one across here.
The Bulls will go 1-2-3 here in the home half of the fourth. That one right over the head of Miura, who ducked out of the way. 1 ball and no strikes.
Starting him with a breaking ball that kind of slips out of the hand.
In 6-3 here, bottom of the fourth with Matthew Miura. The count now moves to 2-0.
And we talked about it last night on the air. Matt Miura is getting the opportunity, you know, if he doesn't get his name called in the Major League Draft come June, going to have the opportunity to play in the Cape Cod League, which is a collection of all of the best collegiate players in the country.
2-0 misses down and away. 3 balls, no strikes to the table setter in Hawaii's lineup here this afternoon, Matthew Miura. And if you're just tuning in, Hawaii without the services today of Jordan Donahue.
Yeah, hoping Jordan is feeling okay. Just a precautionary.
3-0 catches the upper half of the zone. 3 balls, 1 strike.
Especially first weekend of the series, that's something that you don't want to make it get worse as you kind of inch closer to conference play, which is in about 3 weeks.
The 3-1 to Miura. Hit out to right, and that will fall in for a base hit. Miura aboard yet again.
The guy just hits. I mean, there are some players, right, where no matter what, they just hit. And that's something that Matt Miura has always done. He always gets his foot down on time, sees the ball very, very well. And as he progressed through his career here, put on a lot of good weight. You're going to start to see a little bit more doubles, a little bit more extra bases. But again, the hit tool is just super, super special with Matt Miura.
That is 3 plate appearances and 3 base hits, one of them being a double for Miura. They check over at Miura at first, dive safely back in about 15, 20 minutes right across the street over in Bohemia Softball Stadium. Bows will take on Sacramento State as part of the Spring Fling Tournament. Again, no TV, no radio, so only live stats. That one hit out to center. Harthen giving chase as he will haul that in. So a very loud first out for Hawaii as Ziegler Namoa flies out to center.
Yeah, that was just very, very unlucky. I mean, Ben hit that ball absolutely on the screws, but could not turn around Harthen out there in center field.
Well, it was low enough that it didn't change direction as far as going into the light, then out of the sunlight. So 1 down for Hawaii here in the home half of the 4th. Elijah Ikes will step in for Hawaii. Runner on first, that is Matthew Miura. Bows chasing 3 here in the home half of the 4th. 6-3 Marshall leads as they try to snap Hawaii's home win streak. First pitch swinging is Ikes, grounds it to third. Leon to second, Kramer for 1. Ikes beats out the throw. Tag not successfully applied. So Ikes aboard on the fielder's choice as Miura retired 5-3 or 5-4.
And Zage Lancaster now up to bat. Struck out the first 2 times in the first and second inning, so looking for him to get going. Had a couple hits last night. Had a couple hits in game number 1, so looking to get himself into the mix here in game number 3.
Now 2 away for Hawaii here in the home half of the 4th. Over at first, that is Ikes. First pitch catches the outer half. No balls, 1 strike. Good series coming up for Hawaii. It'll be Thursday through Sunday. The Shockers of Wichita State come to town.
Led by former Hawaii hitting coach Brian Green. We saw him a couple years ago with Washington State, and a couple years before that when he was at New Mexico State. He was an alum of New Mexico State, and so did a really nice job kind of getting that program and jump-starting it again.
The 1-1, they check over on Ikes at first. He dives safely back. And I remember back in the day, early 90s, when Gene Stevenson would lead the Wichita State Shockers squad and part of the Rainbow Baseball Easter Tournament.
Yeah.
Again, they check over on Ikes, dive safely back in. Some of the Hawaii faithful, a couple of heckles.
And next week, I think they're calling it Legends Weekend. So I think a lot of the former alumni of the University of Hawaii baseball program is invited to come out and kind of participate in some of the festivities.
1-1. Fouled away. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Lancaster, batting in the 4th slot for Hawaii. 0 for 2 this afternoon here in game number 2. Both plate appearances have resulted in strikeouts.
So Zage kind of trying to extend his at-bat here, trying to extend the inning, put a little bit more pressure on Griffin Miller.
The 1-2 to Miller. Ikes breaks for second. It will not matter as swinging through and missing his 3rd straight strikeout is Zage Lancaster, and Hawaii done in the bottom half of the 4th inning. So for the first time this afternoon here in game number 2, Hawaii does not have a crooked number on the board. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on base. That is 7 Rainbows left on base through 4. We go to the 5th, Marshall 6, Hawaii 3. You're listening to Rainbow Warrior Baseball on CBS 1500.
This place they call paradise, I call my home. Best to be born and raised local ground.
With hotels, condo resorts, and vacation rentals on 5 Hawaiian islands, Castle Resorts and Hotels is a Kama'aina favorite. When you need a place to stay to attend a tournament, family function, or a golf getaway, visit castleresorts.com for special Kama'aina rates.
H-A-W-A, H-A-W-A, H-A-W-A,
Castle Resorts and Hotels. Born in Hawaii, built on hospitality, inspired by aloha.
H-A-W-A. There ain't no other place like these islands.
Aloha, this is Stan Maiona from Sports Stan. You're listening to University of Hawaii Baseball on CBS 1500.
We move to the home half of the fifth. We move to the visiting half of the fifth. Marshall leading Hawaii 6-3, along with former Rainbow Warrior pitcher Harrison Kuroda. Tifos here from Les Murakami Stadium on this haze-filled Saturday late afternoon here in Manoa. So great to have college baseball back. The opening weekend of college baseball here in 2025. Those looking to start off 2025 where they ended 2024 at 37-16 season a year ago.
First pitch breaking ball from Walls. Ethan Murdoch here at the plate, already 3 RBIs with a single and a double on the afternoon. And which is very interesting, right? We're talking about the power and talking about the ability to kind of drive the ball and drive in runs. Murdoch hit $133 last year.
Takes the first 2 for balls. That one can't check his swing. So the count 2-1 to the ever dangerous Ethan Murdoch. 2-1 coming from Walls. The second inning of work. High and in. 3-1 the count. So the Thundering Herd will go 4-5-6. Murdoch, Haverla, and Vogelsong. 3-1 to Murdoch. Misses on and away. And again, the leadoff batter for Marshall aboard, this time via a walk, courtesy of Ethan Murdoch.
I'm starting to kind of look to see if there's going to be a little bit of stirring in Hawaii's bullpen. We've got some bodies down there.
One other score in progress over in Fullerton. The Titans taking it on the chin to the Stanford Cardinal. Lost 13-1 earlier today. Currently losing 6-0. Supposed to play one yesterday that was postponed due to rain. As Walls struggling to find the zone here as that first pitch up and away. Ball 1 to A.J. Haverla. Haverla 0 for 2 here in game number 2. Right down the middle. Ball would make that strike 1, so the count 1-1.
Real good looking off speed right there from Cooper Walls. So he has the ability, he has the aptitude, he has the frame, but now it's just a matter of putting it all together.
A 1-1 offering. Catches the outer half. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Mentioned that Stanford Fullerton scored 6-0 Stanford in the home half of the 7th. They're playing a doubleheader because game 1 yesterday was postponed due to rain. Another game in progress, Pacific and San Diego from Stockton, California. The 1-2 fouled away. Again, in about 10 minutes, the Spring Fling tournament for Hawaii will continue. They'll take on Sacramento State.
And softball playing very well.
They're 6-1.
Yeah.
A walk-off win last night.
In Bob Coulin's final year.
The 1-2. This is why. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And also for the first time this year, both baseball and softball in the Big West Conference will have conference postseason tournaments.
Yeah. And I've always maintained that the last 3 years, playing a Hawaii baseball team in the month of May is a very tall task.
2-2 misses just upstairs. 3-2, the count now full. Marshall in their 3rd year in the Sun Belt, trying to make the Sun Belt Conference tournament. The 3-2 hit to right, but that will go out of play. They'll do it over. 3-2. Sun Belt, sometimes they call it the Fun Belt Conference.
Yep.
Very good football conference. Very good men's basketball. Baseball as well.
Yeah, so kind of to finish the point on Hawaii baseball teams in the month of May, from 2022 to 2024, Hawaii combined record in May is 28-11.
Not too shabby. The 3-2 hits the right elbow.
Wow, and they're going to call that a strike. It leaned in, and it kind of hit the back arm. And so it looks like right now, yeah, they're going to call it a strikeout.
So the original call was that the ball hit the elbow of Haverla, but as you noted earlier a couple innings ago, there's no TV.
Yeah.
You can't review that.
And it looks like Coach Gary Beals is
Not happy.
not happy and has a few pointed words for home plate umpire Devin Shabab.
Well, and again, like you said, the elbow of Haverla ducked in.
Yep.
Drew the contact.
And if you're scoring it at home or here in the stadium, that's going to go as a struck out looking. So they're going to make the play resume here.
So 1 on, 1 out as Elijah Vogelsong will step in. Batting from the left side, takes ball 1. Vogelsong 0 for 2 in the afternoon. Flied out to center in the second. Struck out in the fourth. Marshall sent 7 to the plate in that top half of the fourth where they plated 3 runs. The 1-0 hit right off the plate. High in the air. Walls over to first to Ziegler Namo. They retire Vogelsong on the 1-3 putouts. Heading over to second is Murdoch, but 2 retired here in the visiting half of the fifth. Nice job of fielding his position. That has to make you smile as a pitcher.
And that was almost a carbon copy of the single that Zage Lancaster had in the 9th inning, where it just kind of, you hit it straight down off of that turf, and it takes a big 30-40 foot hop, and it took a while to get back down.
First pitch to Tyler Kammerer, called strike 1. Officially 0 for 1, was hit by a pitch in the fourth, would later come around to score. 0-1 grounded to short, lightly to Iquez, cross diamond to Ziegler Namo. What a stab, picks it out of the air, and just like that, Marshall is retired as Kammerer retired 6-3 on the putout. For the Thundering Herd at the top of the fifth, no runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. So the home half of the fifth we go. Halfway through here from Manoa. Marshall 6, Hawaii 3. You're listening to Rainbow Warrior Baseball on CBS 1500.
Abbey Carpet and Floor, voted Hawaii's best carpet and flooring company. Stop by Abbey's showroom on Nimitz Highway and see the amazing 7MTC flooring. This revolutionary product is made out of melamine. It's resistant to fading, stains, and even pet scratches. Come by and see the Scratch Test Challenge. 7MTC, available now at Abbey Carpet and Floor.
Abbey Carpet and Floor, where Hawaii goes for flooring.
Contractor's license number C19140. Sports Stand Sporting Goods is Hawaii's best baseball and softball store. At Sports Stand, you'll experience the largest selection of baseball and softball gloves and bats in Hawaii. You know the rules. Quality sporting goods, always at a price you can afford. Stop by Sports Stand Sporting Goods in beautiful downtown Waipio, 94-547 Uke'e Street, Suite 303. Or give them a call at 808-676-STAND. That's 808-676-7826. Remember, at Sports Stand, it's not just sporting goods, it's a way of life.
This is University of Hawaii Baseball on CBS 1500.
Move to the home half of the fifth for the Rainbow Warrior baseball team, but we cannot forget about the Rainbow Wahine basketball team. Now, lucky 13 in a row. They defeated UC Irvine in the Bren 49-44. The Bows are now 2.5 games up on second place UC Irvine. Head coach Laura Beeman and her squad will come back home. Single game for them. That'll be this Saturday against UC San Diego. What a phenomenal job by Coach Beeman and the staff.
Yep.
Some early conference adversity. Start the year 0-2 in conference play, and all they have done is just win, no matter what.
Just the buy-in, right, from Coach Beeman and her squad. And so I've always maintained that is one coach where I do not want to get on her bad side.
Bows will go Sakaino, Quant, and Beeson scheduled up here in the bottom half of the fifth. Sakaino checks his swing.
I love that she is zero nonsense.
One of the best in the business in Hawaii. Very thankful to still have her leading this Rainbow Wahine basketball squad. 1-0 after the check swing. Sakaino draws his second ball, now 2-0 ahead in the count. And that crossover season, always so tough on fans which sport to pick and go watch. Of course, for the SIDs, doing multiple sports at once. Tua to Sakano, who shows bunt, pulls it back. It's now 3-0 to Sakano.
I think Laura's in her 13th year or something like that. Very, very fortunate for Hawaii basketball fans to be able to retain her.
Sakano 3-0, takes all the way and draws the 4-pitch walk in. Well, we're not in College Station, Texas, but if we were, we might be hearing some ball 5 chants. We did hear them earlier this afternoon in game 1.
We did. Some fans that are pretty clued into college baseball.
And for those that haven't seen it, if you're at College Station and the visiting pitcher throws 4 consecutive balls, the crowd all chants ball 5 until a strike is thrown, or if it continues, you can do the math, ball 6, and it just gets louder and louder. And if you're a pitcher, that just rattles you.
Oh, big time. Big time. I mean, it's not exclusive to just Texas A&M, so when that kind of stuff happens, you know, it's especially on the road, hostile territory.
Sakano over at first after drawing the walk. Jared Quant takes strike 1.
It becomes one of those situations where, you know, it forces you to kind of think about what you're doing, right? It's like, of course I'm throwing a ball, but then, and of course I don't want to continue to throw balls.
They check on Sakano over first, dives in safely. But if you're on the mound and you're facing that, and if you've been to Bluebell Ballpark at College Station, one of the finest facilities outside of course, Les Murakami, here in the West region, one of the most beautiful stadiums in the West Coast. That crowd gets on you, 6,000-7,000. Ooh.
And especially because they're Texas A&M, right? The preseason number 1, currently still sitting at number 1 in the country.
Quant fouls that off. No balls, 2 strikes.
And so, yeah, the Aggies of Texas A&M having some noise.
What was your favorite ballpark to visit as a pitcher?
As a pitcher, you know what was actually pretty interesting? We did get a chance to play in the old Metrodome in Minnesota. And I don't know, I guess visually I liked backstops that weren't very far. I mean, in Hawaii at the Les, the backstop is extremely far from home plate. And so visually when the backstop is kind of right on top of home plate, you feel like home plate is 50 feet rather than 60 feet. And it's just a full comfortable thing. And of course, a major league mound is always going to be immaculate. So yeah, that's probably one of them.
They check on Sakano. He gets back in safely. The 0-2 coming to Quant, misses high and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And I'm not surprised that you didn't say your favorite ballpark was somewhere in New Mexico State or Arizona, elevation.
I have nightmares of New Mexico State. I mean, let me tell you, it's like playing on the moon. All you have to do is blow on the ball, and it leaves the yard.
The 1-2 to Quant, checks the swing, but he is called out on the strikeout looking. So 1 retired for Hawaii here in the home half of the 5th. Bo's chasing 3. Stepping up will be Britton Beeson.
Who had himself a nice at-bat in his last at-bat in the 3rd inning, doubled. After working a 1-2 count.
Will later come around and score an unearned run.
Yep.
Bottom of the 5th, Marshall leading Hawaii 6-3. 1 on, 1 out here in the home half of the 5th. They check again. Over on Sakano, dives in safely. Very curious your take on Hawaii moving into the Mountain West Conference to start the 2027 baseball season.
You know, I think overall, I mean, much more winnable conference, you know, baseball-wise.
First pitch to Beeson, swung on and missed, 0-1.
My big, I guess, question is, you know, because you're going to play at places that are a little bit more at altitude and a little bit more elevation, do you know, if you're Coach Hill and the gang, do you, you know, maybe look at a more physical player, you know, a guy that's going to hit a little more fly balls to kind of pop a couple out?
Again, they check on the runner at first. That's Sakano. And even though there's no dirt, that jersey is getting a little dirty as he continues to dive head first.
These little black pellets, rubber pellets that kind of sit in turf to kind of make the blades stand up a little bit.
The 0-1 coming to Beeson. Right fielder out of Villa Park, California, swung on and missed well out of the zone. Sakino was off the bag at first, dived safely back in. No balls and 2 strikes. And the football team has made a lot of those trips to the Mountain West the last decade or so, and now all of the sports in the conference outside of a handful, because they're going to stay in the Big West as the Mountain West doesn't sanction and sponsor a few of those sports. They'll get to make those extended road trips. The 0-2. This is high and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. I'm also curious to see what they'll do with that non-conference scheduling. If you'll still see some of those current Big West rivalries, if you will. We put those in air quotation marks. Do we see an Irvine? Do we see a Santa Barbara? The 1-2 down and away, 2-2. Or as we've seen in this Rich Hill coaching staff and how they schedule and do one-off games if they stay on the road for 2 weeks consecutively. Sometimes you'll have that midweek game on a Tuesday or a Wednesday.
Especially because of the travel of Hawaii. Those midweek games are very important to schedule, just so you can kind of get the allotment of games.
The 2-2 popped high into the air. Sakino was going to go for the stolen base opportunity, but pulls it back. That ball hit high into the air. Niu a couple of steps over in that 5.5 hole and hauls it in. Beeson retired on the fly out to the shortstop.
And Griffin Miller kind of settling in here and looking very sharp here in the 5th. And so 77 pitches through 4 2/3 innings. So again, I think if you're Hawaii, you want to try and get into that bullpen. A little depleted. You saw some arms last night, as Hawaii was making that comeback.
Draven Nushida will step in, the 8-hole hitter. Third baseman getting the start. First pitch swinging again. Fouls it off the foot. No balls, 1 strike.
Hoping to extend the inning here. Draven Nushida's so far looking very comfortable.
Marshall picked to finish 12th in the 14-team Sunbelt poll. You mentioned a very, very good baseball conference. The 0-1. Sakino breaks for second, and he will get in there with a stolen base.
And if my math is correct, I think that's Hawaii's 7th stolen base on the season so far.
That last pitch to Nushida was called a ball, so 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs as Sakino in scoring position. Takes the lead off of second. Miller still the starting pitcher in, delivers. Fouled to the Marshall dugout. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Nushida kind of looking to extend the inning here. We got 2 outs. Maybe cause a little bit of havoc. Making sure you put the ball in play here.
Miller delivers the 1-2 again, fouled, and we'll do it again.
Doing a good job battling and following off some tough pitches there. Back-to-back breaking balls down underneath the zone.
Over in Fullerton, Stanford leads the Titans 6-1. That game now in the bottom of the 8th inning.
And already that is Sakino's 3rd stolen base on the season.
The 1-2 into the turf. Golden with the stop. Deuce is wild here in the bottom half of the 5th.
And it looks like we're going to get some action in Marshall's bullpen. And that is number 32, Peyton Jackson, a righty, freshman.
The 2-2 offering. Again in the turf. Catcher can't find it. That's Golden. And thinking about breaking for third, but pulling back and heading back to second with Sakino. Count now full, 3-2.
And also following him in the bullpen is number 27, Alex McKay, a grad student, a right-hander.
Nishida digs in. The 3-2 coming from Miller with Sakino at second. The pitch hit to third, corralled there by Leon, goes cross diamond, and they retire Nishida as it goes 5-3 on the putouts, and Hawaii retired here in the home half of the 5th inning. No runs for Hawaii. on no base hits. There were no Marshall errors. Again, one runner left on base for Hawaii. That is now 8 through 5 innings. To the 6th we go. Marshall 6, Hawaii 3. You're listening to Rainbow Warrior Baseball on CBS 1500.
Did you know that 1 in 4 vehicles on the road will need a new battery this year? Don't wait till it's too late to do something about it. Test your battery regularly, and if you need a replacement, Napa has you covered with a full range of long-lasting, high-performance batteries for every make and model on the road. So don't wait until your car won't start or you're stranded on the side of the road. Test your battery today or find the replacement you need at Napa locations nationwide, because it's our mission to keep you moving. Napa! Give your engine the attention it deserves with the advanced formulation of Napa Full Synthetic Engine Oil. It delivers faster oil flow for superior temperature protection in the harshest conditions. Defends against sludge and buildup while keeping your engine running cleaner, longer. And improves fuel efficiency by reducing friction, helping you stay at peak performance mile after mile. Try Napa Full Synthetic Engine Oil today. Available now at Napa locations nationwide. Napa!
Aloha, this is Stan Maiona from Sports Stan. You're listening to University of Hawaii Baseball on CBS 1500.
To the 6th inning we go. It is brought to you by Hawaiian Financial Federal Credit Union for Life, along with Harrison Kuroda, former Rainbow Warrior hurler, Mid-Pacific standout. Tiflos here from Les Murakami Stadium. All for tuning in on our sister station CBS 1500. After tuning in to game number 1 between Hawaii and Marshall in this doubleheader, Hawaii winning that game 6-2, 7-inning that first game. And if you're listening to us in West Virginia, in Huntington, mahalo, because it's a 5-hour time difference. And last night game ended around 9:45 Hawaii time. So that's carry the 2. That's 2:45 in the mornings earlier today. A lot of coffee being brewed.
Yeah.
So mahalo if you're listening to us in West Virginia, thank you.
And stay warm.
Yes.
I mean, last time I heard it was like 17 degrees.
First pitch swinging will be caught there in the right field, and short right field there from Beeson is first pitch swinging. That was Jackson Golden.
And just what the doctor ordered: 1 pitch, 1 out. Get yourself that leading lady right there.
So again, Marshall will go 8-9-1. Golden, Leon, and Harthen. The 3 due up here for the Thundering Herd. Looking for their first win on the season. They only won 3 road games a year ago.
Yeah, tough.
First pitch again, swung on, but hit over the grandstand and out of play.
Like you said, they're staying in another warm. They're headed to another warm weather state next week. Going to Georgia.
The 0-1 fouled back into the netting. Yes, they'll take on the Rambling Wreck of Georgia Tech.
Yep.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Hawaii will, of course, be here at home next week. Welcome in Wichita State for a 4-game set. Go Thursday to Sunday.
It's always a fun series.
The 0-2 fouled wide of third. Count 0-2 to the 9-hole hitter, Eddie Leon. Ball steps in, pitch wide of the zone, down and away, 1-2 the count.
Yeah, Wichita State now in the AAC, the American Athletic Conference. So come on out to the ballpark. It's a Thursday to Sunday affair.
The 1-2 again misses down and away, 2 balls and 2 strikes. And there's so many beautiful ballparks out there. You see them on TV and on video streams, and you come to the Les, there's not a bad seat.
Yep, I 100% agree with that.
The 2-2 hammered out to left. That drops in for the base hit, the 9th of the game for Marshall. As heading to second, he's going to pull and head back to first. Bows catch him, and they will tag him out. Leon thought about extending it to a double, got halfway through, realized, the ball got back into the infield a whole lot quicker than I thought. Tried to do his best, scamper back to first. Heads up play there by Ikes to Ziegler Namoa. So officially, we're going to go 7 7-6-3 on that put out.
Yeah. And immediately after he applied that tag, Ben knew right away, kind of demonstrative fist pump for that second out, helping out the freshman.
So officially a single and then thrown out as he tried to get back to first. So 2 retired, as now the top of the order will go to Cam Harthen.
I mean, albeit there was that hit in the last at bat, but that's 5 straight retired by the freshman.
Count now 2 balls and 1 strike. If you're recording it, if you're doing your own scorebook at home, and if you do, kudos to you. Officially goes left to second to first. So 7-4-3 on that put out. Ground ball through the diamond, and that will go into center field for the base hit. So Harthen aboard. Inning continues. It's already the 10th hit for the Marshall Thundering Herd here in Game 2.
I mean, much, much more comfortable here at sea level than in the frigid snow. And so, yeah, I mean, again, I think for these cold weather states, for them to be able to come here and play some games where you're not worried about frostbite, I think that's a big shot in the arm for you.
A lot of teams worried about rainouts. They check on the runner at first. Harthen gets back. A lot of teams worry about rainouts. But you mentioned those cold weather cities and states. There's snowouts.
Yep, there are.
First pitch offering from Walls. Instead, he will check again on the runner at first. That's Harthen. He gets back safely. If you're over at Rainbow Wahine Softball Stadium, that game, the previous game just ended between Utah Tech and Sacramento State. That's 6-2. It's about a half hour or so. First pitch wide of the zone, 1-0 the count as Niu gets out of the way. So Hawaii and Sacramento State, which was scheduled for 5:30, you're looking at about maybe a 6 o'clock, maybe 6:10 first pitch, local time of a start. What a start for Coach Coolin and his squad, 6-1 after their walk-off win a night ago. The 1-0 misses high and away, 2-0.
Walls kind of falling behind with that fastball. Again, we talked about the 6'5" frame of Walls, and so sometimes that when the legs and upper body aren't really synced up, the ball will tend to kind of fly towards the pitcher's arm side.
2-0 catches the inner half. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Much better pitch right there on a 2-0 slider. That's a tough pitch that Harthen, good on him to kind of just look at.
2-1 offering, hit out to left, giving chases Quant and Nushida. It's the center. It's the shortstop. Ikes on the dive. What a catch! It was in between that Bermuda triangle, if you will, between Quant, Nushida, and Ikes, and it was Ikes who had to make the longest of the run from all 3 of the fielders that gave chase. Put that in your Web Gem Sports Center top 10. Sliding grab there from Elijah Ikes, and that retires the side for Marshall here in the top half of the 6th inning. So for the Thundering Herd, no runs on 2 hits. There were no Hawaii errors and 1 runner left on base for the Thundering Herd. We head to the bottom of the 6th. Marshall leading Hawaii 6-3. This is Rainbow Warrior Baseball on CBS 1500.
Building a winning program requires vision, careful planning, and expert execution. Since 1994, Ushijima Architects has provided the highest quality professional planning and design services for various projects throughout our state. Our highly experienced team provides the full spectrum of services, from feasibility studies and master plans to complete architectural design work. Call us today at 808-946-9544. Ushijima Architects is a proud sponsor of University of Hawaii Baseball.
Sports Stand Sporting Goods is Hawaii's best baseball and softball store. At Sports Stand, you'll experience the largest selection of baseball and softball gloves and bats in Hawaii. You know the rules. Quality sporting goods, always at a price you can afford. Stop by Sports Stand Sporting Goods in beautiful downtown Waipio, 94-547 Uke'e Street, Suite 303. Or give them a call at 808-676-STAND. That's 808-676-7826. Remember, at Sports Stand, it's not just sporting goods, it's a way of life.
This is University of Hawaii Baseball on CBS 1500.
We head to the bottom of the 6th. Marshall leading Hawaii by a score of 6-3, along with former Rainbow Warrior Baseball pitcher Harrison Kuroda. Tifos here from Les Murakami Stadium. And Harry, you mentioned it earlier, Hawaii, if they could find a way to get to the Marshall bullpen, and they do so as we head to the bottom of the 6th.
Yeah, this is again a different look. I thought Griffin Miller was really, really good for Marshall, changing his speeds, kind of spinning in that breaking ball and keeping Hawaii very, very off balance. So kudos to Miller, who goes 5 innings, scatters 6 hits, 3 runs, only 1 earned, 3 walks, and 4 strikeouts. And so 84 total pitches, and so that's a great first weekend start for Miller. But again, Peyton Jackson in for the Marshall Thundering Herd, making his 2025 season debut. Only a freshman.
So season and career
Career debut. And so we saw another freshman debut last night. That was Collins. And so he got roughed up a little bit, kind of making his career debut and season debut.
Palmera takes the first pitch for a strike, low and away, but it catches the bottom of the zone. So the Bows will go 9-1-2. Scheduled is Palmera, Miura, and Ziegler Namoa. Bows with single runs in the first, second, and third. The 0-1 hit out to right center, giving chase is Harthen. He's still on the run. It will then go to the right fielder, Halter, who will haul it in. And Palmera flies out to the right fielder. 1 out here in the home half of the 6th inning.
And again, Palmera kind of put looking to go to a left-handed kind of platoon here against the right-handed McKay.
Yeah, Tsuke Takemoto got the win in game number 1. 5 innings, scattered 4 hits, gave up 2 runs, 3 strikeouts, 94 pitches, I beg your pardon, like you mentioned.
It looks like we got a pinch hitter. I think this is Aiden Cooney, last night's first baseman. So left-handed hitter, I think they like the matchup, lefty-righty, and so going to go lefty here with Cooney. Had a double last night.
So Cooney batting for Beeson here in the bottom of the 7th. Bose threatening with 2 runners on, breaking for second, and no throw, a stolen base for Jared Quant. So now 2 in scoring position for the Rainbow Warriors.
And perfect timing for that stolen base. First pitch of the new pitcher coming in, kind of lasting on your mind is a stolen base.
The 0-1 to Cooney swung on and missed. Nothing in 2. Our in-game adjustment made by Lex Brody's Tire Company, where UH Apparel, when you visit any Oahu Lex Brody's location, get an additional 5% off your purchase.
And Hawaii here cannot squander this opportunity with you got ducks on a pond with nobody out.
The 0-2 to Cooney. Down and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes again for Hawaii here. Sakaino over at third, Quant at second. New pitcher in for Marshall in Alex McKay, the right-hander, the senior right-hander. The 1-2, that hits Cooney. Bose with ducks on a pond here in the home half of the 7th, and an opportunity for Hawaii.
And now you got bags juiced, and Cooney kind of taking a ball off of the calf again, kind of very, very similar to him getting drilled last night.
And last night's hero, Mr. Draven Nushida, will step in. So for Hawaii, Sakaino at third, Quant at second, Cooney at first. Sakaino and Quant are still responsibility of our previous pitcher, Jackson, who left the game 2 batters ago. Bags full of bows. Nishida swings and misses, strike 1.
Good looking swing right there, but got the change up, kind of down and away. So good pitch by McKay. Good approach by Nishida there.
The 0-1 offering from McKay. Bows trailing by 3, but the bags are full. Foul tip, and quickly Nishida down in the count, nothing in 2.
Now we got the fastball away. Thought he could kind of do something with it, but pretty good arm side action on that McKay fastball.
Sakaino at third, Quant at second, Cooney at first. Bose threatening, bags full of bows here in the bottom of the 7th, trailing by 3 with nobody out. Again, Nishida will foul it off, and he'll get another opportunity.
And again, creating stress, kind of getting into the head of the pitcher. Again, bag full of bows. You got a lot of traffic, creating some stressful situations here, and that's when you're able to make some mistakes.
The 0-2 into the turf, and that one's smothered by the catcher Golden. No advancement by any of the Hawaii runners. Count now 1-2.
Yeah, Hawaii base runners making sure that they don't run each other off here.
And again, everything's predicated on that runner over at third and Sakaino. If he breaks, then if you're at second, you've got to break. Yep. And same thing for first. If the runner at second breaks, you go. The 1-2 offering. Again, fouled away. Good job by Nishida. The battle continues between him and the pitcher, McKay.
Basically a game of choo-choo train. When you coach it to little kids, you kind of want to always have them looking at the train or at the car in front of them.
The 1-2 again to Nishida. Lightly tapped over the third baseman. That will fall for the base hit. All Hawaii runners advance 90 feet.
And again, typical Hawaii baseball right there. Getting yourself into a hole, working the count. But sometimes it's not about how hard you hit it, about where you hit it. And so again, Nishida doing a really good job shortening up the swing and taking that 8-iron and chipping it into left field.
That run brought to you by Sports Stand Sporting Goods. It's not just sporting goods, it's a way of life. The RBI single for Nishida will score Sakaino from third, advancing his Quant to third, Cooney to second, Nishida down to first. Hawaii with 1 on the board, trailing 6-4.
And Looking like we got another pinch hitter here with Itsuki Takemoto. And if I understand, his family and his high school baseball coach is here in attendance for opening weekend.
Takemoto batting for Palmera in the 9-hole slot. Takes the pitch down and away, ball 1. So Takemoto batting for Connor Palmera, which will probably mean you'll see Faldo come in to catch in the top half of the 8th. The 1-0. Takemoto with a healthy swing, but swings right over the top of it. 1-1 the count.
Yeah, trying to do damage right there on that 1-0 swing.
And also, if you're Marshall, if you have Matthew Miura in the on-deck circle who has caused your pitching staff fits, he's 3 for 4. This is an important batter that McKay is facing.
Yeah.
The 1-1 to Takemoto. Bo's down by 2, 6-4. Takemoto, healthy swing again, but that goes over the construction of the batter's box, so the batter's field house over the third base side. Count now 1-2 to Takemoto.
And Marshall going to play first base back here. So, again, a ground ball to the right side, not going to do it. I think you got to elevate here.
The 1-2 to Takemoto into the turf again. That's maybe 3 or 4 times that Marshall pitcher has thrown one into the turf, and Golden has done a nice job of smothering it and not allowing any advancement. Count now 2-2. Quant, Cooney, and Nushida on the bag for Hawaii as Takemoto chases one out of the zone. A little bit of a curveball changeup, and Takemoto down on strikes.
Tough right-handed changeup right there, kind of going away from Itsuki. So, again, real big pitch there for McKay.
With one away, Bo's go to the top of the lineup, and Matthew Miura was had a very, very good afternoon in this second game. 3 for 4. Bo's chasing 2, 6-4.
And spring balls everywhere, too. Even the fly out to right field. I mean, that ball was hit pretty good, deep enough. And so if you got another at-bat just like that, I think Hawaii's offense would take that.
6-4. First pitch to Miura, fouled wide of third, 0-1.
And so again, here, I think ideally you would want to bat Miura a little bit lower in the lineup, but batting leadoff here because of the absence of Jordan Donahue.
Quant off the bag at third. The 1-0 off for Miura, hits one out to right. That will go wide of the foul pole. It does clear the fence, but a very loud strike 2.
I mean, again, seeing the ball extremely well right now.
And no shadows. We're in the twilight hour here, so
getting closer to what a typical first pitch time would be on a Saturday.
Quant at third, Cooney at second, Nushida over at first. The 0-2 hit to short. Getting out of the way is the runner Cooney, as they will retire Miura on the 6-3 putout for the second out. Coming home from third is Quant on the RBI ground out from Miura. Cooney over to third, Nushida down to second.
And now this game is starting to feel a little bit like last night, right? Where Hawaii in the later stanza or the later third of the game starting to kind of chip away at the deficit. Still trailing here, 6-5.
And as you said, you get into the bullpen of the Thundering Herd, giving yourself an opportunity. Now Lahaina Grown, Ben Ziegler Namo will step in, but a timeout called by head coach Rich Hill.
Yeah, offensive timeout, and looks like they're going to go pinch runner here. And that is going to be... Can't wait till the player turns around.
Well, they're checking in for Aiden Cooney over at third. That's the runner.
I think that's Kamana Nahaku, who we saw last night in right field. Had himself a base hit.
Our pinch runner in-game adjustment, again, brought to you by Lex Brody's Tire Company. Wear your UH apparel when you visit any Wahoo Exporters location. Get an additional 5% off your purchase. First pitch offering to Ziegler Namoa. Down and away, 1-0 the count. Bows have plated 2 here in the 7th, trailing still by a run, 6-5. New pinch runner Cameron Nahaku over at 3rd. Nushida down at 2nd. The 1-0 to Ziegler Namoa, down and away, 2-0. Hitters count coming for Ben Ziegler Namoa.
Ben having himself pretty good at bat so far today in game number 3.
Can the Lahaina native deliver here in the bottom of the 7th? That one catches the outer half, 2-1. Not a favorable call for those that are favoring Hawaii here.
Ben got himself a hit in the first game, 2 RBIs.
The 2-1 outside of the zone, 3-1. Ziegler Namoa is the 7th Hawaii batter to come to the plate here in the home half of the 7th. The 3-1 to come from McKay. Ziegler Namoa offers, fouls it off. Count now full, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Again for Hawaii, the new pinch runner Cameron Nahaku over at 3rd. Draven Nushida down at 2nd. Bows with 2 runs here in the home half of the 7th, 3 hits as well. But an opportunity knocking for the Green Nation top of trim.
And already the 3rd full count that Ben has drawn. And ends the same exact way with the walk.
Inning continues as the senior draws the walk, and the bags are full of bows with Elijah Ikes stepping up for head coach Rich Hill.
And Ikes having himself a 2-for-4 day today, both singles.
So again for Hawaii, Ducks on the pond as we're going to have a visit to the mound for Marshall. Nahaku at 3rd, Nushida at 2nd, Ziegler Namoa over at 1st, and there will be a full meeting atop the mound.
And that's going to be, I think they're going to go to the bullpen. That's Nick Wyrek, who we saw last night. Did a real good job of keeping Hawaii at bay.
And they will indeed go to the bullpen. So we'll keep it here again. Some 7th inning drama here in Manoa as the Bows have played it 2, but an opportunity knocking for Elijah Ikes as he will face the new pitcher for the Marshall Thundering Herd as Hawaii has played it 2 runs already here in this home half of the 7th inning. Mentioned one other game that was in progress. We hadn't gotten a score yet. We have done so as UC San Diego leads Pacific 8-3. Last check, that game in the top of the 7th. And that other score in progress over in Fullerton that has gone final as the Cardinal take both of the doubleheader over Cal State Fullerton. They win it 6-3 as they outscore Fullerton 19-4 in the doubleheader. Fullerton drops to 0-2 in the early part of the season.
Again, another school, another program with Fullerton kind of going through it right now. Not the Cal State Fullerton of the 80s and 90s.
Or of the 2004 when Kurt Suzuki led them to the title in Omaha.
Yeah.
So like you mentioned, the new pitcher, Nick Wyrek, senior right-hander.
Yeah, kind of a drop-down righty, kind of a sidewinder guy with a little bit of velo, upper 80s. Going to rely heavily on that 2-seam fastball that's going to sink like a bowling ball. Trying to get some ground balls here. So I think they like the matchup right on right. We got the sidewinder Wyrek against the right-handed hitting Elijah Ikes. And so mano y mano here in the 7th inning.
Already the 4th pitcher for Cal State Fullerton here in this ball game. 3 in the last inning and a half, or inning and 2/3 rather. So again for Hawaii as we reset the Bows on the pond. Nahaku at 3rd, Nushida at 2nd, Ziegler Namoa at 1st. with Elijah Ike stepping in for Hawaii.
Drama again here in the late goings for Hawaii. It looks like we got the catcher kind of back in. They had to go and adjust some of the protective gear.
Iquez digs in. Bags full of bows here in the home half of the seventh. First pitch just outside the zone. 1 ball, no strikes.
Yeah,
Iquez tonight, 2 of 4.
Ball kind of sinking under the zone there.
The 1-0 offering from Wyrick with Marshall leading 6-5. Bottom of the seventh. That one catches no part of the home plate. It is 2 balls and no strikes.
Kind of feel like Iquez is kind of taking all the way, kind of force the righty, the tall righty for Marshall to throw a strike here and work.
The 2-0 offering coming to Iquez. Right down the middle, 2 balls, 1 strike.
Yep, auto take right there.
About 5 minutes time on our brother station ESPN Honolulu. Josh Pacheco and Derek Lowe with Rainbow Warrior Countdown, getting you ready for Hawaii and UC Irvine. Coverage begins at 6:30 p.m. over on our brother station, ESPN Honolulu. Bags full of bows here in the bottom of the seventh. Ball hit to the shortstop. Niu goes across the diamond, and he will get the out recorded as they get Iquez out by a step and a half. So they retire Iquez 6-3. Bows threaten. They score 2 more. So 2 runs for Hawaii on 3 base hits. There were no Marshall errors. And for another inning, Hawaii leaves at least 1 on base. They have left 3 in that inning. That is now 13 Hawaii base runners left through 7. But the Bows pick up 2 runs, and they trail 6-5 as we move to the top of the 8th inning. More to come from Manoa. After this, you're listening to Rainbow Warrior Baseball on CBS 1500.
Sports Stand Sporting Goods is Hawaii's best baseball and softball store. At Sports Stand, you'll experience the largest selection of baseball and softball gloves and bats in Hawaii. You know the rules. Quality sporting goods, always at a price you can afford. Stop by Sports Stand Sporting Goods in beautiful downtown Waipio, 94-547 Ukea Street, Suite 303. Or give them a call at 808-676-STAN. That's 808-676-7826. Remember, at Sports Stand, it's not just sporting goods, it's a way of life. Dreaming of owning a home? At Hawaii USA Federal Credit Union, we're here to make it happen. With competitive rates and a local team who understand the Hawaii housing market. Whether you're looking to buy your first home or upgrading, our friendly, experienced team is here to guide you every step of the way. For details or today's rates, call our mortgage hotline at 808-844-8048 or visit hawaiiusafcu.com/mortgages. Hawaii USA, life matters. An equal housing lender.
University of Hawaii Baseball on CBS 1500. Brought to you by Ushijima Architects.
The Rainbow Warriors are in the top of the 8th. A couple of defensive changes coming in to catch for Hawaii. It'll be Hunter Faldo. Moving to left field would be Kamana Nahaku, beg your pardon. And then moving from left to right will be Jared Quant.
Got all those changes. So again, gonna see Falro for the second game or for the 3rd straight game. Got the first 2 starts in game 1 of the doubleheader today and last night. It's good to see 2 local boys back there behind home plate, kind of getting the baton passed from Dallas J. Duarte.
Again, those 3 defensive changes for the Rainbow Warriors. Ken Faldo, the new catcher for Hawaii. Nahaku, the new left fielder after coming into the game in the bottom of the 7th as a pinch runner. That moves Jared Quant from left field to right. As we get you set for the 8th inning, first pitch swing. That's from Kramer. Over to Iquez. Cross diamond, the throw will go, and they retire Kammerer. 1 pitch, 1 out, 6-3 the putout.
And on the mound for Hawaii, pitching changes. Adamson is a senior. Charlie Adamson, right-handed pitcher, 6'4", 220 from Malibu, California. So another big physical righty out of Hawaii's bullpen.
And his hometown spared a little bit by those devastating wildfires. Malibu right near Pacific Palisades. First pitch swing will go wide left and out of play. Nothing in 1 the count.
And Adamson, in 3 innings of work last season, a 0.00 ERA. So pretty good in limited action. 2 strikeouts, no walks. And so looking for him to get an expanded role here. Has a little bit of funk out of the separation with his delivery. He keeps his arm very, very short, and so hides the ball very well out of the hand.
Also a pinch hitter for Marshall checking in is Joel Gardner, the backup catcher. So Gardner batting for Golden. That pitch down and away. Count 2 balls and 1 strike.
The broadcaster Bachi of saying that he didn't walk anybody all of 2024, and here he stares at a 3-1 count.
The 3-1 offering down to third. Nushida on a dime. Backhand retires at 5-3. Another web gem for Hawaii's defense. Quickly 2 retired.
Outstanding backhand play by Draven Nushida out there in at third base. A lot of versatility that Nushida brings to the game. He was also an outfielder last year, played most of his innings in the outfield at Cal State Fullerton. And so again, providing some stability over there at third.
That brings on the third baseman, Eddie Leon.
And that was a good looking fastball on the outside corner for strike 1.
And no balls, 1 strike, 2 outs here in the top of the 8th. Swung on and missed quickly, nothing in 2.
Leon kind of letting it eat, letting the bat fly, trying to see if you can kind of hit it.
Taking full all the way, strike 3 looking, and that catches Leon by surprise. Like he wasn't even ready for the pitch.
Yep. And I guess play was called, and looks like they're going to have an argument there at home plate with the third base coach.
That third base coach was very unhappy as he had a few words for our home plate umpire, Matthias Fromelt. And for Marshall, it doesn't look like there's any issues of someone getting run, but the head coach for Marshall having an extended conversation, if you will, with our home plate umpire, Matthias Fromelt. But what a job there by Adamson to come into that 8th inning. 3 up, 3 down for Marshall. No runs, no hits, no Hawaiiers, nobody left on base. The bottom of the 8th we go. Marshall 6, Hawaii 5. This is Rainbow Warrior Baseball on CBS 1500.
This place they call paradise, I call my home. Best to be born and raised local ground.
With hotels, condo resorts, and vacation rentals on 5 Hawaiian islands, Castle Resorts and Hotels is a Kama'aina favorite. When you need a place to stay to attend a tournament, family function, or a golf getaway, visit castleresorts.com for special Kama'aina rates.
H-A-W-A, 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 there ain't no other place like these islands.
Castle Resorts and Hotels. Born in Hawaii, built on hospitality, inspired by aloha.
H-A-W-A, there ain't no other place like these islands.
University of Hawaii Baseball on CBS 1500. Brought to you by Hawaiian Financial Federal Credit Union for life.
As Marshall goes down in order, Hawaii trailing by a run, 6-5. As the Bows will go 4-5-6. Scheduled is Sage Lancaster, Shunsuke Sakaino, and Jared Quant.
We're kind of getting down into the left-handed part of the order here with Sakaino and Quant after Lancaster.
First pitch offering, called a strike. As Nick Wyrek, his second inning of work.
you know, a lot of coaches will kind of make that, will kind of tell hitters, right? When you're facing a submarine sidewinder, dude, you have to try and hit what you know and not what you see.
Ball up the middle off the glove of Wyrek. Niu is right there. It goes cross diamond, 6-3 the putouts. As Sakino retired, or rather Lancaster retired, 6-3 on the putout, one away.
And again, Wyrek, because of that arm angle, creating a lot of sink. Already 2 ground balls for the shortstop. That's exactly what you want out of a submarine righty.
Over at Rainbow Haney Softball Stadium, bottom of the third, or the top of the third, Sacramento State and Hawaii tied at 1. Part of the spring fling tournament. Ball 1 to Sakino, just underway on our brother station, ESPN Honolulu Rainbow Warrior Countdown. Josh Pacheco and Derek Logue will get you ready for Hawaii and UC Irvine. The 1-0 offering becomes 2-0. That ball high and away, misses the zone.
And good positioning adjustment for Sakino. I mean, right now he's right on that inside line of the left-handed batter's box, so trying to take away some of that run and sink that Wyrek's going to feature.
The 2-0 to Sakino, swung on and missed, 2-1.
And so a lot of times what hitters will do facing these types of pitches is they'll actually get a little bit more up in the box just to kind of take away some of the movement. That's a missed fastball on the outside corner, way off the plate.
Count now 3-1 to Shinsuke Sakino.
And so really making Wyrek work here.
Corners in for Marshall. The 3-1 hit out to left, but that will land foul. Count now full, 3-2. Again, if you're on your way to campus, there's, from what we've been told, there's still parking available, even with baseball in progress, softball in progress, men's basketball in about 25 minutes until tip time. The 3-2 inside, Sakino draws the walk.
Sakino having himself a real good game, drawing his second walk of the day. And again, as we talked about earlier, a perfect 3 for 3 in stolen base attempts. So maybe that's something that they put on here, trying to getting him into scoring position.
Right fielder Jared Quant will step in. Quant 1 for 3 here in game number 2. Has also drawn a walk, has struck out once as well. Bows trailing 6-5, bottom 8. Won the first game 6-1. Ball swung on and missed. Taking second base on the steal is Sakino.
4 for 4.
That's the second stolen base of the game number 2 for Sakino. And just like that, Bows with a runner in scoring position. We said that a lot today, and the Bows have also left a lot on the base paths.
Was that 13 so far?
Yep, that is 13. We do some quick math.
We can math.
We can. Sometimes it's hard, other times it's not. The 0-1 coming to Quant. Sakino over at second. Ball right up the box. That will go into center field. Rounding third is Sakino. Here comes the throw. There will be none. Hawaii has tied it at 6.
Unbelievable right there. Jared Quant is absolutely pumped over there at first base. And so Wyrek got his ground ball, but again, like we said, sometimes it's not how hard you hit it, it's hit them where they ain't.
That run brought to you by Sports Stand Sporting Goods. It's not just sporting goods, it's a way of life.
And keep in mind, right, that was set up because of that stolen base by Sakino there.
Can we say Jared hit the Quan? We tie it up at 6?
I like that. I like that.
New ball game. Hawaii has erased a 3-run deficit, tied at 6. As Kamana Nahaku checks in, offers the bunt. Ball goes right underneath the bat for strike 1.
Squaring up late right there, trying to get on trying to bunt for a hit, dragging it down to third base. Third base still kind of playing a little further back. Hawaii trying to still play for second base. Jared Quant can steal bases, but not as much of a stolen base threat like Sakino. But Wyrek is making sure that he stays close to first base with the pickoff attempt.
Kamana Nahaku steps in on the right side of the box. Bottom of the 8th. We are tied at 6. Hawaii has played at 3 in the last inning and a half. The 0-1 to come from Wyrek. Outside the zone that gets past the catcher. Heading to second is Quan. It was a very late break. I don't know if he saw the ball get past the catcher, but that is a clear wild pitch.
So now the tide starts to feel like it's turning a little bit here for Hawaii. Again, no stress, even though chasing a little late, but still, again, a 3-run deficit. Cut to 0.
Quant in scoring position. Nahaku digs in. The 1-1. Down and in. 2 balls and 1 strike. And also, if you're Marshall, you also have Nushida on deck. You have Itsuki Takemoto in the hole.
Yep.
And then right behind him is Matthew Miura. So arguably 3 of the toughest hitters for Hawaii in the next 3. The 2-1. Hit to the pitcher. That to Wyrick. Looks the runner at second. Quant chases him back, and he will retire. Nahaku 1-3, 2 retired here in the home half of the 8th.
Yeah, kind of tough break right there. Nahaku kind of trying to square the ball up, but again, because of that sink, hitting it straight into the turf and right back to Wyrick.
Quant thought about it.
Yeah.
Quant thought about going to third and then thought better of it. The 2 retired for Hawaii here in the home half of the 8th as Draven Nushida will step in on the left side. Over at second is Quant. The first pitch catches the inner half. 0-1.
Yeah, kind of front hip fastball on that one, kind of inner half of the zone.
The 0-1. Quant at second. Nushida looks at it, go wide. 1-1 the count. On deck, we mentioned it was Itsuki Takemoto. It's actually the current catcher, Hunter Faldo. So Faldo batting in that 9-hole slot.
And that is Zachary 10 warming up for Hawaii. One of their back-end closer options.
The 1-1 nearly hits Nushida. Turns away. Count now in his favor at 2 balls and 1 strike.
We saw Zach a little bit last night, but they kind of pulled him after a couple batters after an intentional walk and an unlucky base hit to kind of save him for game 3 and 4.
The 2-1. Nushida was a little bit late. Foul tips it in the catcher's glove of Golden. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Deuce is wild with 2 outs here in the home half of the 8th.
Yeah, kind of saw it a little bit too long, and then once he elected to go ahead and swing, that ball was a little bit too far back. But that's kind of how you have to hit these guys. You got to wait for that ball to travel.
Ball inside. 3-2. Nushida has drawn the count full.
And Marshall's bullpen right now, quiet.
Are you surprised?
No, I think Wyrick is the guy you kind of want to, if you're going to beat the best guy. He was last year's saves leader for Marshall with 5.
That ball fouled right over the third base dugout where Hawaii houses everybody, and luckily no one hurt. Coach Rich Hill got hit in the third base box last night.
Yeah, I mean, his hand was pretty swollen and fat after last night's contest, and so he's one tough bugger.
Quant at second. Nushida digs in. Count is full. Foul into the netting. We'll do it again. Battle between Nushida and Wyrick. I think Cal State Fullerton would like to have Nushida back.
I would imagine so.
And Hawaii has erased a 3-run deficit in the last inning and a half. New ball game at 6-all. Bose threatening. The must-have misses wide. Inning continues for Hawaii as Nushida draws the walk.
And Hawaii's offense right now, so tough. Playing, just kind of hanging in there.
As the backup catcher for Hawaii, brother Hunter Faldo.
Yep.
Former Mililani Trojan catcher.
That is already the 7th walk drawn by Hawaii. Positive differential there, 7 walks against 5 strikeouts as a team. And so coming into today, I think Hawaii had 9 walks and 11 strikeouts. So that number evening itself out.
Head coach Rich Hill made the walk down to home plate to talk story with Matthias Fromelt. Make the official change in the lineup here as Faldo came on to catch in the top half of the 8th, but he's batting in the 9-hole slot here and with an opportunity here to possibly give Hawaii the lead. Score tied at 6, 2 on for Hawaii. As Faldo swings through that one, misses it, 0-1 the count.
Yeah, kind of sinker right there, bearing in on that back leg of the right-handed hitting Faldo.
If Faldo can find a way to get on base, the ever-dangerous leadoff hitter Matthew Miura waiting on deck. The 0-1 hammered there by Faldo, but wide of third, and quickly 0-2.
Good adjustment there, a little bit more of a flatter swing for Faldo. Getting good barrel on it, but unfortunately not playing the game of cricket.
Which those games can just go on for days.
And there is no such thing as a foul territory, playing a giant oval.
The 0-2 to Faldo. That hits him on the top of the head. The inning continues. Heads up play there by Faldo to not get out of the way, just turn the shoulder and wears it.
Yep.
Takes it 90 feet for the hit by pitch.
And he'll take that after kind of working himself into an 0-2 hole. But again, on the pitcher's end, that's just kind of a breaking ball that gets away out of the hand weird.
Can we say a breaking ball that didn't break?
Good. I think a lot of times, a lot of people call those cement mixers. They'll just kind of spin and hang up there, but because for whatever reason, it's not going to do anything.
We've said this multiple times tonight. Bows, all 3 on the pond. Miura steps in, takes strike number 1. For Hawaii, Jared Quant at third, Draven Nushida at second, and Hunter Faldo over at first.
And these are the types of hitters, right, that you want to face a guy like Wyrick, right? A little veteran guys. They've seen a little bit more. They've kind of had a little more experience.
The 0-1 grounded to first into the glove of Havrila, and Hawaii leaves 3 more left on base. But got a new ball game. We're tied at 6. 6 all as we head to the top half of the 9th, and for the Rainbow Warriors, 1 run on a 1 base hit. There were no Marshall errors. 3 more Hawaii players left on base. That is now a baker's dozen. 13 left on base through
16.
8. 16, yes, I beg your pardon.
Yep.
We go to the 9th. Marshall 6, Hawaii 6. You're listening to Rainbow Warrior Baseball on CBS 1500.
Aloha from Waiakea. As a proud corporate sponsor of University of Hawaii Athletics, we're committed to keeping our athletes and fans hydrated with delicious volcanic water straight from the Big Island. Our water originates atop the Mauna Loa volcano as rain and snow melt, filtering through thousands of feet of porous volcanic rock and re-emerging at the surface as refreshingly crisp, naturally alkaline water. Learn more at waiakea.com and find us at most stores across the islands. Live aloha, drink Waiakea.
How do you get 100% of your work done when you're 40% short-staffed? Across Hawaii, city and state departments grapple with thousands of vacant positions. And with fewer workers, that means longer lines at the DMV, delayed building permits, and slowdowns in essential services. The government could resolve this by offering more competitive wages and benefits. For you, we hope they do. A message brought to you by HGEA, because Hawaii works best when we do.
Aloha, this is Stan Maiona from Sports Stan. You're listening to University of Hawaii Baseball on CBS 1500.
Oh, the opportunity was there for Hawaii in the bottom of the 8th with arguably your hottest hitter of the weekend, Matthew Miura, with bases loaded. A weak grounder to first base. Hawaii has left 16 on the base pass through 8 full innings. We move to the 9th. Bows a battle back. They were down 6-3. Scored 2 in the 7th, 1 in the 8th. 6 runs, 11 hits, no errors for Hawaii. For Marshall, 6 runs, 10 hits, 2 errors. Along with Harrison Kuroda, Tifos here from Les Murakami Stadium. Closing in on the 7 o'clock hour here local time. New pitcher for Hawaii and Zachary 10.
And again, one of Hawaii's de facto closers. I think you got him and Liam O'Brien, kind of those 2 guys. But different types of pitchers. Ken is going to rely a little bit more heavily on that real big-time changeup and a curveball. You know, the fastball's in the upper 80s. And so, again, when Coach Hill says that when Ken is going good, I mean, that ball is an absolute wiffle ball. It kind of moves and darts and all over the place.
First pitch wide of the zone, 1-0, and then evens the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. In the ninth for Marshall, scheduled 1-2-3.
And if you watch how the left-handed Harthen kind of took that ball, I mean, he kind of like leaned back out of there, kind of seeing the movement on the pitch.
The 1-1 misses high and away, 2 and make that. The second pitch they called a ball, so it's actually the count is 3 balls and no strikes.
It's 2-1. I think umpire's giving us a correction with his fingers.
Now it's 3 balls and 1 strike. That ball just a little high of the zone.
Again, not a bad pitch. Another changeup that kind of just stayed up.
The 3-1 from 10 draws the count full, 3-2. Again for Hawaii, Nahaku in left, Miura in center, Quant in right, and then across the diamond, Nushida, Ikez, Sakaino, Ziegler, Namoa. Faldo now doing the catching. And Hawaii's 4th pitcher of the game now in Zachary 10. The 3-2 right up the middle, and it is caught on a 1 bouncer from Zachary 10.
And that was one of those plays of stick your glove out and look what I got. I mean, that ball was hit sharply right back to 10. But we've heard it time and time again, right? Coach Hill talks about how he likes to employ Zachary 10 late in games with runners on because he's such a tremendous fielder out there on the mound.
One team with the 1 bouncer off the turf. Niu will step in for Marshall. In 6-all here in the visiting half of the 9th of this scheduled 9-hitting game number 2. First pitch swung on and missed by Micah Niu.
Zach 10 coming in preseason, the 81st best reliever in all of college baseball, top 100. So Zach 10 and Jordan Donahue both found themselves on the top 100 list at their respective positions.
The 0-1 just missing wide of the zone, 1 ball and 1 strike. And for 10 was originally committed to UW, then had an injury that they
kind of derailed him.
Pulled that scholarship and now has found a home, 2nd year with Hawaii. And 6-all, top of the 9th, Hawaii and Marshall, game 2 of our doubleheader. That ball misses the zone, now 2 balls and 1 strike.
And 10's fastball kind of a couple ticks faster, like a lot of these other UH relievers and UH pitchers. Really doing a good job with the offseason weight strength and conditioning program.
The 2-1 hit foul. Count evens now 2 balls and 2 strikes. But if you're head coach Greg Bills in your 3rd year, this was your first real true recruiting class. After getting walked off last night, losing 6-2 earlier this afternoon in game 1, how have you liked the fight of your team here in game 2?
I think you've got to be pretty happy. I think you'd want to clean some things up, but I think overall the makeup of this team is very, very evident. They're tough.
High pop fly in the short center field. Miura calls off Sakaino as Niu retired on the fly out to the center fielder. F8, 2 away here in the top half of the 9th. Again, Marshall with a single run in the 1st, 2 in the 3rd, 3 in the 4th. They have not scored since. Hawaii with single runs in the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 2 runs in the 7th, scratched a run in the 8th. But again, the storyline for Hawaii is runners left on base, 16. And it has not been sweet. First pitch swung on and missed there by Jackson Halter. Quickly 0-1.
Outstanding changeup right there by Zach 10. I mean, that thing looked like it started on the inside half of the plate and ends up on the outside corner for strike 1.
The 0-1 to come from 10, top of the 9th, score tied at 6. Ground ball to second, smothered by Sakaino. Calmly over to first, and Ben Ziegler Namoa. And for just the 2nd time this game, the Marshall Thundering Herd, 3 up and 3 down. We go to the 9th. Hawaii has an opportunity to walk it off for a 2nd consecutive night. 6-all, we go to the bottom of the 9th. More to come from Manoa. After this, you're listening to Rainbow Warrior Baseball on CBS 1500.
Abbey Carpet and Floor, voted Hawaii's best carpet and flooring company. Stop by Abbey's showroom on Nimitz Highway and see the amazing 7MTC flooring. This revolutionary product is made out of melamine. It's resistant to fading, stains, and even pet scratches. Come by and see the Scratch Test Challenge. 7MTC, available now at Abbey Carpet and Floor.
Abbey Carpet and Floor, where Hawaii goes for glory.
Contractor's license number C19140. Dreaming of owning a home? At Hawaii USA Federal Credit Union, we're here to make it happen. With competitive rates and a local team who understand the Hawaii housing market. Whether you're looking to buy your first home or upgrading, our friendly, experienced team is here to guide you every step of the way. For details or today's rates, call our mortgage hotline at 808-844-8048 or visit hawaiiusafcu.com/mortgages. Hawaii USA, life matters. An equal housing lender.
This is University of Hawaii Baseball on CBS 1500.
And we're also getting into that spot where the lineup is going to turn over against Wyrick. So this is going to be a lot of these guys' second time getting a look at him.
First pitch from Wyrick. Catches the outer half. No balls and one strike. Again, game 4, we will be on our brother station tomorrow afternoon, 12:35 p.m. Hawaii time. First pitch just after 1 o'clock. Second pitch misses outside the zone again. If you're on the East Coast, that 5-hour time difference, a little bit more manageable. 5:35 Eastern tomorrow afternoon, and then 6:05 first pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ziegler Namoa takes ball number 2.
Seeing the ball down very well. So again, trying to make sure that he gets a pitch that he likes to hit.
Do some damage, hopefully.
Yeah.
The 2-1 coming. Ziegler Namoa swings right through it. No contact. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And it's kind of with that swing, Ziegler Namoa wanted to call pow.
The 2-2. Bouncer right over the mound. Take the shortstop, and on the cross diamond throw, Ben Ziegler Namoa beats it out, and Marshall is not happy.
And again, that was one of those ground balls that, like Zage Lancaster last night, ball was hit straight into the turf and took a big second hop, and that was one of those home runs in a silo. And it looks like head coach Larry Beals is going to be getting his money's worth here.
He is not very happy, but again, because we're not on television, this game does not have any sort of replay. That ball, the bouncing ball from Ziegler Namoa, went right over the pitcher's mound, Miller. Niu made the effort, got it on the 5-hopper, went cross diamond on the throw, and Ziegler Namoa beats it out, but not before the coaching staff of Marshall gives our first base umpire, Devin Shabab, and also the home plate umpire, Matthias Frommelt, a few pieces of their mind.
Yep.
Well, for Hawaii, Bows have the winning run at first, and Ben Ziegler Namoa, Elijah Ikes will step in. Ikes is 2 for 5 here in game number 2. Ziegler Namoa, the winning run over at first. No outs for Hawaii here in the home half of the 9th. First pitch misses outside the zone. And the outfield for Marshall playing a little bit in, but nothing real drastic, not playing pull. The 1-0. Ikes shows bunt. It will drop down, and that will stay in for the base hit. A successful and beautiful bunt brought to you by Hardware Hawaii, customer first, Elijah Ikes. Hawaii had not bunted all game long.
And that was, I mean, that ball sat right on that baseline perfectly. I mean, it had just enough backspin where it kind of, after the second bounce, kind of just settles right on that brown piece of turf that's inside of the foul line.
And an opportunity for Zage Lancaster coming in 0-5 here in game number 2 with an opportunity. 2 on the pond for Hawaii. Nearly a balk on Wyrick. Not called. So again for Hawaii, you've got Ziegler Namoa, the winning run at second. Ike is over at first after a textbook bunt.
Yeah. And Lancaster kind of showing his hand a little bit, kind of showed early, squared around to bunt during that pickoff attempt.
Stepping off the mound is Wyrick. That's his first step off here in this offering with Hawaii's 4-hole hitter in the DH and Zage Lancaster. Again, Lancaster 0 for 5 here in game number 2. Corners pull in for Marshall. 2 on for Hawaii with no outs. The bunt shown, and that will drop but foul.
And they crashed both corners in to try and cheat and see if they can make a play on that and get the lead runner out over at third.
Again for Hawaii, Ben Ziegler Namoa at second. He's the winning run. Elijah Ikes with great speed over at first. Lancaster, the DH, facing an 0-1 count.
And Marshall going to pinch the corners in, kind of creeping in on the green of the infield.
There was a large hole to the right side. They go for the pickoff move on Ziegler Namoa. He gets back in time. As the second baseman, Kammerer, who's playing very close to that second base bag, if there's a way that Zage Lancaster can hit one to the right side, there is a massive hole between the first base and second base.
Right on right, very difficult to do with a guy that's kind of sinking it on your back leg.
The 0-1 hit into the turf. To the pitcher will go to Wyrick. Nobody at first base. He will not beat the runner to the bag.
Unbelievable. And now here in the 9th inning, we have all kinds of drama defensively here for Marshall. And Coach Greg Beals is going to let the first base umpire kind of have it.
And again, no TV.
Nope.
Means no replay. And again, there are 2 bags. You have the white normal bag, but you also have the green bag for the runner. And with that ball hit straight into the turf, pitcher's fielding practice there from Wyrick, hauls it in, and he tried to beat the runner Lancaster to the bag, and the coach for Marshall had just been tossed.
Oh, yeah. And he is not happy.
So the head coach for Marshall, Greg Beals, has just been tossed after consecutive bang-bang plays at first base. Neither have gone in the way of Marshall. And the Bows, with all the ducks on the pond.
Just to kind of set the scene here, Shunsuke Sakaino here in his 6th AB of the season, or plate appearance, excuse me, but got ducks on a pond, left-handed hitter, veteran guy, and so worked the walk in his last at-bat in the 8th inning, and so Shunsuke Sakaino trying to play hero here in game number 3 of this series.
The opportunity is there for Hawaii for a possible second consecutive walk-off win in an evening. Bags full of Bows, Sakaino to the plate. Infield comes in for Marshall. First pitch offering right through the 5-6 hole, game over.
Unbelievable. Second night in a row, Hawaii on top here, walking off in the 9th inning. Going for the sweep tomorrow on a Sunday.
It is time to bounce in Manoa. Some Manoa magic as the Bows score 4 runs in the final 3 innings. And for the second consecutive night, 2 times in the last 22 hours, the Bows walk off Marshall.
Oh my goodness. I mean, credit to both sides. That was a great game number 3 of the series. But, I mean, for Hawaii to do that 2 nights in a row, this is a very, very special bunch.
Last night it was the Cal State Fullerton transfer, Draven Nushida with the walk-off winner. Tonight it's the CSUN transfer, Shunsuke Sakaino with the walk-off. Manoa Magic. It is not just a thing, it is a reality, and Hawaii walks off Marshall 7-6, and that win streak at home continues now. 14 in a row. Shout out Timmy Chang. Bows in a walk-off, 7-6. They defeat Marshall here in game number 3, which also means Hawaii takes the series on the Thundering Herd of Marshall, which gives Hawaii an opportunity on a Sunday for a series sweep. We'll take a break, try to collect our thoughts. What a game here in Manoa. Bows take game number 1, 6-2. Hawaii trailed 6-3, entering the 5th inning. Don't count out Rich Hill's Bows. Hawaii walks it off 7-6 on a single through the left side by the CSUN transfer, Shunsuke Sakaino. Bows win 7-6, and somewhere up above, Uncle Don has the best seat in the house. We'll be back to Manoa in 60 right here. You're listening to Rainbow Warrior Baseball on CBS 1500.
Sports Stand Sporting Goods is Hawaii's best baseball and softball store. At Sports Stand, you'll experience the largest selection of baseball and softball gloves and bats in Hawaii. You know the rules. Quality sporting goods, always at a price you can afford. Stop by Sports Stand Sporting Goods in beautiful downtown Waipio, 94-547 Uke'e Street, Suite 303. Or give them a call at 808-676-STAND. That's 808-676-7826. Remember, at Sports Stand, it's not just sporting goods, it's a way of life.
The Hawaii Wall and Ceiling Industry Association is looking for skilled drywall installers, finishers, and cement plasterers. Whether you're a journeyman or an apprentice,